Hey guys, can you hear me? I am so sorry. I'm not sure what happened. Can you guys hear me? Oh my God. This was like epic. Yeah, can you hear me now? Yeah? I think there's something wrong with my computer. Yeah, there's something wrong with my computer that it's permanently set up. Like I never literally move it. It has its space. But when you have children, God help you. I don't know what somebody came here. I don't know what they've touched. My computer is permanently set up and it shouldn't, ideally, the thing is permanently set up to just be in one spot. I just come in and log in last minute when I'm ready. I really apologize. Yeah, I apologize for that. Please. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, can you hear me now? Yeah, I've had to use another device to log in because that I tried and tried everything. For some reason, the audio of that one would not move. So if you can hear me good, do you think we should continue or we should postpone this? Because we actually want to discuss something very important tonight. It's about cohabitation, trial marriage. Should we go ahead or we should continue or we should cancel it for another day? Whatever you guys want to do is okay with me, to be honest. Yeah, click on the like button. Chelsea man, what do you think? We should cancel it or we should go ahead? Okay, we should go ahead. Okay, let's manage it like that. Once again, my apology for that technical hitch. I don't know what happened. These things, sometimes they have a mind of their own, even with our best intentions. So let me just carry on. Back. Let's see if we can get this. And the funny thing is that the audio that I wanted to play for you guys is on this device I'm using now. So anyway. So, like I was saying, you're welcome. Thank you very much all for being here tonight. I appreciate you. Please give this video a thumbs up. I realize that I won't need to delete the other one now because the one that I set up before that we're going to use is not the one we are using now for some reason. Because that one didn't work. So we're going to have to just make do, unfortunately. So my people, I want to talk to you guys about cohabitation today. So on Saturday, I started having this conversation at home with my kids. We had a conversation. I was cooking in the kitchen, and Esther was here, and Toby decided to join in, and then we started talking about it. So the conversation is around if cohabitation is the new way. And I tell you, I kid you not, the kids were making a case. Toby particularly was making a case that trial marriage is, according to his sociology, is what works. Because if you don't try marriage with people, you don't find out whether you are compatible or not. You don't get to know a lot of things about those people. So it's better to do trial marriage. And of course, I will never agree to something like that. So we had a conversation around trial marriage or no trial marriage. So I recorded that conversation when we were talking because it was a very interesting conversation. And so when I now went on social media, I saw this lady crying, saying that, no, she wasn't crying. She was just making a video saying that she lived with a man for 2 years and they've been dating for 4 years. And the man left her or bought a ring for another person who lives in the US. So let me just see if I can navigate this. Please bear with me because this is not my usual thing that I use. So I'll play you the video.
So I saw this inside a box. A man I've been dating for complete 4 years. I saw this inside inside his luggage. This is an engagement ring, probably for the lady the auntie introduced him to. I've been dating this man for complete 4 good years. Have you guys seen? I just had to check some things inside the house, and I saw this. More embarrassed to come out, but there's no point of me being embarrassed because um I don't know. Now to this question. This is the ring. This is not mine. Yeah.
So, as you can see, uh, that lady was saying that she was dating a guy and they've been dating for 4 years and she was living with him for 2 years. And she found a ring in his house, and is a ring that is obviously doesn't belong to her, that is for a lady who the auntie introduced the guy to marry for green card. Okay. So the auntie introduced the guy's auntie introduced him to another lady who obviously lives in the US for green card. So the man now went and bought an engagement ring because she tried the wedding ring on. This is the lady that was talking. She tried the wedding ring on and they didn't fit her fingers. And she was saying that she was not embarrassed to come and talk about it because this is a man she's been dating for 4 years and she's been living with him for 2 years. And this is what he decided to do, to buy engagement ring. So what she's trying to say is that invariably that this uncle is planning to marry another person right under her nose. Oh, it's just paining me the way this computer decided to behave this night. Right under her nose that uncle wants to marry another woman. So I put a post on my Instagram page and I said, well, men are usually very clear about their intentions, okay? But we women, we like to assume things. Okay. Men usually, if a man wants to marry, if you meet a guy, he will know within the first 3 months if he wants to marry you or not. Maybe he's taking his times. Uh, He's taking his time to see character, to see compatibility, and to see if you align in terms of fundamentals, the fundamental things that he's looking for. But guys usually know straight away if this is the person they want to marry. Jacqueline say 4 years cohabiting, being called dating is deception. Dating is getting data, not fornication. Okay. Spoken like a Christian woman. And Chrissy said, so painful. Right. But is it painful though? Is it painful for it won't be painful for her. Let me not say it won't be painful. I will agree with you that it's going to be painful for her. But my stand on this, and it's not like I'm not trying to be empathetic or seeing where she's coming from. Okay, I know what I did. My people, I know what I've done. Why the thing was not working. I pressed something in my computer. Oh my goodness, unbelievable. I think I solved the problem. It's something I did. Let me try and see if I can get into the studio back on my computer. The light was just flashing now. I muted something. Okay. Let's see if we can get it to work now. All right. I think I may have muted something that didn't allow it to work. Hello, can you hear me? Yeah. Are people hearing me? Okay. So, okay. So, no, I muted the wrong one. Ha, Ubaton. Can you guys hear me now? I'll press it again. Ha, no sound. Hey guys, can you hear me? Now you hear me. Okay. So what I was saying is that a lot of us women, we make assumptions. We assume, we think if I stay long enough, he will marry me, but it doesn't necessarily follow. So what I was saying is that this trial marriage of a thing, is this the new normal? My kids were making a case, especially Toby was saying that this is the best way, that there was something in sociology. There was something in sociology where they did an experiment, and they found out that the people that did a cohabitation, they have a longer, they have more chances of their marriages surviving in a sociology class in school. All right. Mm-hmm. So, but what I was saying is that if he didn't promise you marriage, if you like, stay within 10 years, can you really blame him for not marrying you? Because he has not proposed. You assume that he was going to marry you, and you are living with him. You are giving him, basically, you're giving him the what do they call it? You're giving him the wife entitlement without the ring. Mm? He's getting all the entitlement of a wife, like i.e., cooking, cleaning, looking after him, sleeping with him, but there is no ring on it. There's no commitment. So if the man now says, okay, I want to marry somebody else, like this uncle now, that this woman is crying that, oh, after living with him for 2 years, dating him for 4 years, he's trying to marry an Americanna. Can we actually blame him? Or is cohabitation the new way? So before we go on, I'm just quickly going to play you that audio so you can get the perspective of my children. It's fun. It's really, really funny. But I think they were onto something, although I didn't agree with a lot of things that Toby was saying. To be honest, I did not agree. But let hear what they had to say about this cohabitation of a thing, because it was an interesting conversation. Yeah, let me put, I hope this works, because I'm struggling here, guys. Why does it have to be white? It can be any color. It doesn't have to be white. Most people will be white. It's very rare black solicitors. It's very rare. In terms of men, the women are small already, but the men is one out of 10. So a white mom's gonna take Esther's clients. Yeah. What happens now? She stops working for 9 months to a year and a half. Yes. When she comes back, she's not gonna be giving those clients again. She's gonna have to work again from the beginning by herself. Yeah, that's because she was on maternity, right? Yes. If she was cohabitating now, she could focus on her work before. Exactly. So that you see, you can't be married. You can't mother and yeah, but mommy's I don't know that girl was have children. Mommy saying that once you get into marriage, you have children because you don't need to have no. I think you're getting me. Oh, okay. I'm not saying that once you get married, you need to have children. I'm saying that what I'm saying is that you shouldn't live cohabitate with a man. You are saying that trial period of cohabitation is good because it makes you know whether, how do you say it, whether you're compatible or not. And I'm saying that I'm not going to allow Esther to cohabitate with any man that's not married her because it is not right. It is not our culture. It's not our religion. We don't live with men that have not even been bothered to pay our bride price or to marry us. And you are saying that, when people cohabitate, they have better chances of their marriage working. Yeah. And then you are saying that, young people don't want to have children early these days because of their career and everything. So cohabitating doesn't mean that you need to have children. But you can get married and not have children immediately. You can decide to stay 5 years and not have children. Well, what I was saying about the age thing for women is that when I said that women have a biological clock, is that no matter how long you want to, pursue your career or try to just enjoy being married before having children. At some point, if you want children, you need to start because there's a biological clock for women. Men can have children at any time, even at 70, 80, but women can't. It's more difficult once you are 40 and above. Not that they can't, but it's harder. So it's for women, if you want to talk biology, it's better for you to start having children in your 20s, even. So you see, a young girl who is already 30, her clock is racing already. She has 10 years now, between 30 to 40, to try and have children. Not that if you're above 40, you can't have children anymore, but it's harder. The risks are higher. They call, some kind of pregnancy high risk pregnancy because your body's older, it puts more pressure on you. Some people have medical conditions and things like that. But there is no evidence, or according to your book, you're saying that the research that was done suggests that trial marriages or trial relationship or cohabitation with someone, if you cohabitate with somebody, there's a higher chance of you having a successful marriage. And I'm asking you, how many people are you going to cohabitate with? How many? You're not supposed to cohabitate with everyone you see. Okay. You cohabitate with a person that you fall in love with you. Okay. And so once you fall in love with them, you cohabitate with them 1 year. It's not gonna. You can fall in love. For the trial marriage thing is to eliminate those like the ones where you can fall in love with someone but they're bad for you. And once you live with them, you understand that they're bad for you. So if they're bad for you, you break up the cohabitation. Yeah, because it's detrimental to both of you. So now you move on to the next person and you cohabitate again. Yeah, but what's the chances that the second cohabitation now is gonna be as bad as that first one? So what if you just marry without cohabitating? What will happen? Like when we did it? If you marry without cohabitation and then you have to go through all the nicks and ticks of your marriage while you're inside of your marriage. Yes. Now you're gonna be thinking, why am I inside of this marriage? This is not good for me. Then you get divorced. Being divorced is worse than having a child marriage. Okay. If you had that child marriage, you would have gone through all these kinks and stuff before you were married. And now because you had to go through them while you're married, you're feeling fed up with the person that you're living with, that this is not good for you. Then you get divorced. And then divorce is worse in the Bible than cohabitation. So what if I take that point that divorce is worse than cohabitation. But I mean, what happens if you just lost somebody and marry them without cohabitating? Must you cohabitate before you marry someone? It's not our culture. It's not our religion. That's what I'm saying. You are saying it now because it's a scientific experience that someone wrote, that they did a study and they find out that because Oyibo people like to cohabitate, they have a higher success rate in their marriages because they cohabitate before they marry. We Africans don't naturally, especially West Africa, we don't cohabitate like that. Not that they don't do it at all, but it is discouraged. It's not the norm. The norm is that your sister is mature, she's old enough to get married, bring the man you want to marry, and then you do your marriage and go and start cohabitation and marriage together, not separately. No trial marriage. I never said everyone has to cohabitate. Yeah, I'm saying it's a more logical process than just going into marriage blindly. If that makes sense. But what Esther is saying now is that a lot of young men, this is what they want, isn't it? Yeah. That's what you're saying now, that a lot of young men, the black young men in the UK, they want to cohabitate before they will marry you. They do it as well. How do you feel about that, cohabitating? I hate it. Would you do it? No? I think men are scared of women. Who? Men are scared of women. Because you see with these kids. Men are scared of women? Yeah. Why? Like, once you get divorced, you're good. It's like, I don't think it's in the UK, but then there's problems with if you already have children in that marriage, there's problems with the children, there's problems with the finances, and then it becomes a whole load of problems that they don't want to have. Yeah. So that's why they don't want to go straight into marriage. And that they feel. So they are trying to protect themselves to make sure they are absolutely choosing the right person for them. Choosing the right person. So you see yourself doing this cohabitation before you get married when you are old enough. Hopefully the first cohabitation I have is the last one. Okay. I don't want to go through
any cohabitation.
It's me that will advise the girl you want to cohabitate with, not to cohabitate with you. I will go and meet her parents and told her, you see, this is my son. I love him very much, but please, if he loves your daughter, he will marry your daughter. No cohabitation. It is not our culture. It is not our religion. Don't allow your daughter to cohabitate.
Okay, then when I get rich, yeah, and then I divorce her, and then she's asking for millions.
You're not going to divorce in Jesus' name. You will not divorce. You will choose the right one. I'm praying for you, all of you already. You will choose the right partners. You will choose the right people that God has ordained for you. You will not make mistakes. And that is where the relationship part, courtship is for you to know the person. Let me tell you something. You can never understand a human being 100%. Okay? And problems will come in a marriage. Yeah. I was watching a video about Michelle Obama was saying that she had to find her own happiness. No one can make you happy. You don't get married because you want to be happy. The problem with you young people these days is that you expect too much from the other person. You need to make room for mistakes. The other person is not perfect. You are not perfect. And the first problem that comes from a marriage doesn't mean that you're going to be running to say, I'm divorcing, I'm not doing it again.
I know it's not the first problem, but it's like if you're young and you're seeing these, now there's first problems that's happening.
They work it out.
Yeah, but young people don't want to work it out.
You have to work it out. You have to give it your best.
No, but you're not talking to me. I'm never said that.
No, I'm talking to young people generally now. You have to work it out. Issues will always come. The reason why your parents are still married is because they chose not to quit, on relationship and on their marriage, but to work it out.
Yes,
because it's better to work it out when there's no domestic violence. And I know you know better than to put your hands on a woman. I know you will never do that. Yeah. Because I raised you better.
Yes. There's something in sociology, I think is it pure love or something?
What's that?
It's now that people go into relationships for satisfaction rather than
the commitment is no longer there. You guys give up so easily. It's not even about relationship alone. It's about life generally. Young people these days, you are not very resilient. We went through hell growing up in Africa. We were resilient. Your resilience level here, when I look at you children, I just laugh. Any small thing, you come back from school, I'm so tired. And what did you do? Did you climb mountain? Did you go to the farm? I said, tired. You're not resilient.
But can you see why now that cohabitation is seen as more favorable? If people only go in there for the soul satisfaction, once one problem comes,
they'll quit. They quit. But you can still run away if you are cohabitating. If you had bad motives.
No, but if you're cohabitating, you can fix some of these problems before you get into the room.
If you're married, you can fix some of the problem as well.
Yeah, but if you're married, you're less likely to fix the problem.
No, you are more likely to fix it when you're married because
once you're married, people don't care about the commitment. They only care about the love. So if they're seeing the commitment as a burden, then they're gonna run away faster. And
I thought it was the other way around.
When there's cohabitation, there's no commitment.
Yeah.
There's nothing for you to be. Okay, maybe if there's sex loyalty, you don't want to have your girlfriend sleeping with another man, but there's no actual I have to make sacrifices for the other person.
Yeah, because there's no commitment. Yeah, so it's easier to work out. It's easier to give up.
Yeah.
Okay, because you don't have the commitment of marriage yet.
You don't have the commitment.
So if you fight for it.
No. In marriage, because there's all of these sacrifices that you have to make. People see the sacrifices as a burden, and then they want to run away from these sacrifices.
Why would they see it as a burden? It's what you signed up for.
Yeah, but I just told you this true love thing. People only there for soul satisfaction.
Right.
They're not there for other. When kids get put into the thing, people don't care. People don't care about the kids. Let's say in all traditional families, people will stay in the family because of the kids. The kids are the stone that are keeping the marriage together. In the family, in the relationships that are happening today, because it's only about self-satisfaction, these kids don't matter to me. I'm going away for my own happiness. So I'm going to run away. It doesn't matter about these kids. When you're in cohabitation, there's no kids. There's none of these things.
And you said that your sociology book had the statistics of the marriages that are most successful in terms of white versus black African, black Caribbean. And it's white British that is the highest.
Yeah, white British.
White British. What about followed by what?
You don't need to learn the rest of it. You just need to know that know too much. There's other that they can teach you about Bangladeshi people. The statistic is so small for these other
community, minority.
It doesn't matter
because they don't have compared to the group. Again, are they interviewing the same number of people from white British background and Asian and Black African and Black African? No, because we need to know how they conduct the research. You can't come up with conclusions without telling me how the research was done. I need to know. Do you have 20 people from white British background? You have 20 people from Black African and 20 people from Black Caribbean.
The thing we were doing that other day, on the computer, and everyone had to put the information.
Yeah.
And would bring it every week. That's how they get the information. That was asking how old are you? What ethnicity are you? Are you married?
So it's secondary research.
So they get that research and then they put it into the books.
Yeah, that's secondary research. Okay. That's true. It's secondary research. It's not primary research. That means they are getting the information based on information that was already given for another purpose. Yeah. Okay.
So once they get that research, they put it into the books. Because we're talking about London and so.
Okay, that's was it census we're doing about the office of the census, office of the statistics, or what do they call them for England? Yeah.
And then we're talking about mainly London in sociology because there's different curriculums and outside of other places. Like, they don't talk about America too much because we're more focused on the society
that you live in.
So because there's a high amount of Black and African and Caribbean people living in London.
Yeah.
There's what you have is a versus battle between white people and Black people, and you don't care about these other minorities anymore because they don't live here. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So then it becomes it's like a versus battle in every single place.
The way I say it, I think I think cohabitating before marriage is more advantageous to the man than the woman. Yeah. That's the way I say it. Esther, how do you feel about that?
That's very true.
Yeah, because you are the woman, both of you are working, but because we are Black Africans, remember I'm talking about Black Africans that are not white British. Because white British, you don't go to work and you expect your woman to go to the kitchen and cook for you. Alright? They believe in 50-50. We are sharing the bills, we are sharing the chores as well. Right. But I don't know, you guys are British. You're first generation British people, so I don't know if you expect your girlfriend to go to work and come back and prepare meals for you or wash your clothes and things like that, or you're going to be doing it. Are you going to wake up on Saturday, hoover and clean? Would you do it?
Yeah.
You will.
Do you know what it is? It's obviously when it comes to culture, there's already that mindset that women should do the domestic work and men should.
Yeah, even in white British background, traditionally, those are the rules.
What they say is called the triple shift that women have to do. They have
triple shift?
Yeah, the triple
Never
shift.
heard it. Explain it.
They have to go to work. They have to do childcare, and they have to do domestic work as well.
Right.
And you can switch out childcare for meeting the essential needs of your husband.
Yeah.
Okay, so now they have these three things. What the man has to do now
is go to work. Yeah.
Now, but these days, what's it called? The symmetrical family. What they're seeing is that there's a higher increase of men becoming
more domesticated
due to different socialization and teachings in school. That
Kenny cooks at the time.
Yeah, see.
He does what?
He cooks at the time.
See, that's
good.
That's an
He's a
example.
good man.
He probably cooks 3 times. He cooks at the time.
That's an example of a new man.
Think seriously about him. He's just calling. He's got something in my book now that he cooks. I like that. You don't like cooking anyway. You say you cook. You cook only when you feel like. You don't like cooking.
Have the energy.
When you have the energy.
An example of what they call a new man. So he's not just the breadwinner.
Okay, I think I've bored you guys enough.
Yeah.
I bored you guys enough with this, so let's stop it. It goes on and on and on and on. Toby was there dragging this thing with me for almost one hour. We're there talking this matter. So basically, you get the gist of it. It's longer, but I'm just going to stop it here so that we can get on with the show. The argument we had was that what Toby was saying is that it's been scientifically proven, and some people are agreeing with Toby here. Please don't agree with him for my sake. I don't agree with him. What he's arguing is that Cohabitation leads to more successful marriage. That if you are if you have done cohabitation with someone, you have a higher chances of the marriage working because you will know each other more. You'd have studied each other in and out, and you'll be ready to marry rather than just taking the risk and marrying without cohabiting. So when I saw the story of this auntie that said that she was living with a man, dating him for 4 years and cohabiting for 2 years, and the man now wants to marry an Americana. And the question I'm asking is that, is this the new normal? Is this the new way? Are we now going to, because this is not it's not a West African, it's not a Nigerian thing like that to be cohabiting. I mean, depending on the family that you come from, yeah. Esther, I can see what you're saying, that Toby is a man, so he's in his advantage, and he's making a very strong case about it. Obviously, Esther and I disagreed with him, but Toby has really strong opinions. Where did he take it from? Your guess is as good as mine. So when this lady now said that she's been living with a man, and I looked at her, she doesn't look like a small girl, oh. She doesn't look like a small girl, and she's saying that this man she's lived with for 2 years, dated for 4 years, wants to dump her for somebody that the auntie introduced him to for American green card. So I'm asking, Naka is saying, if he works for African Oyinbo people, why can't he work for us? I will tell you why it will not work for us, Neka. And I'm sharing my link now. You are free to come and share your opinion. The reason why I think it won't work for us is because Oyinbo people and us, we are different fundamentally when it comes to this issue of marriage, relationships. We are so different. Okay? Oyinbo can live together 10 years, they don't marry. Sometimes it's even the woman that doesn't want the marriage. But we Nigerian girls, we want, a lot of us, 99.9% want the marriage. Okay? Oyinbo can have children for a man and they don't care whether they are married or not. They'll still carry on like that. Okay? But we Nigerians, in our society, our environment, our culture does not encourage it. Okay? If you are a Christian, it is wrong for you to be living with a man that you're not married to. All right? And then again, Oyibo men are different from Nigerian men. Oyibo men are different from Black African men, especially Black African, West African men. So we cannot compare it. The reason why it will work for Oyibo and it may not work for, and I'm not saying that it will not work for all Black all Africans who cohabitate, because I hear this is what is going on now. Esther was telling me that this is what all the boys want to do these days now. We are different. Culturally, we are different. Oyibo man will not stretch his leg and be expecting that somebody will go and cook and be serving him. When you come back from work, he's expecting a plate of food on the table. Some do it, but it's not an expectation for one gender. Meanwhile, the average Nigerian brother will expect you to do that, to cook, to clean. And some might help around, or some might do some of it, and some might not. That's why it won't work. So me, I said, personally, I don't believe in cohabitation. I don't think it's the right way. But let's have a conversation around it. I have an open mind about it, but I think I'm still old school when it comes to the issue of you giving the privileges, giving such marriage privileges to somebody that you are not married to. Because I mean, as crude as it sounds, we normally say it. Why would somebody, why buy the cow when you're getting the milk free? You're getting the milk free of charge. You're getting good food every day. Somebody is cooking, taking care of you. Maybe they just left home where their mother was doing all that. Now they have a girlfriend that's living with them and he's doing all that. Freak pekus. How are you now is Martin freak pekus? So what is the motivation? And then again, I also want us to have a conversation around this auntie that said that she found a ring. If the guy does not propose and you carry your bag to go and live with him, can we hold brothers responsible? Can we say they are bad people? Or can we really criticize them for not, or for marrying somebody else? Is the expectation that from cohabitation that we will marry? Or can he change his mind and say, okay, actually, I don't want to marry you? Like this uncle now, when you go buy ring for Americanna that the auntie introduced him to. So where does the bulk of all this stops? Me, I'm saying that for me, the way I say it is that if you not promise you marriage, no assume say go marry you just because you dey play wife. And that is why I was looking at this lady and I was like, really? You dey live with man 2 years, you don dey date am for 4 years. How long do you need to date a man before you go know say this man no wan marry you? He no get plans to marry you. How do you live with a man 2 years, you've been dating him 4 years, he never still put ring, you still dey there? Doing what? Me, I don't understand that more. No, 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 no. I don't understand it. Anyway, let's have a conversation. The blooming groom said, "Oh no, Toby dear, in terms of sin, there is no greater sin. Divorce, God takes, God does not like when it comes to adultery and fornication, it comes with thou shalt not fornicate." Okay, so divorce is not a sin. So I know he's a child, so he said it like, which is a greater sin. Divorce is not a sin. Let's get that right. Okay, it is definitely not a sin. The sin are clearly received. We want to talk about, as Christians, we want to talk about sin or no sin. I don't see anywhere divorce is a sin. It is not a sin. Okay. So, and we don't use God does not like divorce because that's what people use to demonize people who want to leave marriages. They use that to blackmail them and keep them in very unhealthy relationships. So, yeah. So, me, I'm saying, is it right for you to stay with a man and be expecting when he has not really proposed? Okay. Adewale, you're
Good evening,
welcome.
good evening, Auntie B. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm sharing my link in the comment section. Please, if you want to join the conversation, we're just going to be in and out because I already wasted time in that other one. Adewale, go
Okay.
ahead, my dear. How are you?
Yeah, I was listening to the conversation you were having with your son. I really liked it because I could actually see two different perspectives. Like your
Yeah.
son is speaking as someone who was raised in the UK. So
Mm-hmm.
his mindset, his way of thinking, it's almost like a white British person. But someone who has been born and raised in West Africa or Africa in general, the way we see marriage is different. I mean, I mean when I got to the Netherlands in the first place, I had a few Dutch friends, and then I realized that most of their parents never really got married. And I asked one of them, like, why didn't your parents get married? He said that his parents just never had the time to go to the city hall to do the registration. So they just lived on like that
Can
because
you imagine?
and I just started thinking. I realized that the way they think of marriage, they don't think of it as something that's very very important. They focus more on raising like the raising of the children and the family than the marriage itself. That's just
Mhm.
they've taken that like marriage aspect out of building families. So the ones that actually do get married, they actually do it because they want to be happy or something. There's some kind of
Yeah. Mhm.
financial incentive to it. But we as Africans, especially the ones that are born and raised in Africa, marriage
Mhm.
is seen as something, it's not just religious, it's also something cultural.
Yeah.
So that's why we think that if you don't like if you're not married, they were not supposed to be living together. So
Yes.
that's why again that's why I come to the conclusion if you're someone who has been born and raised in Africa or West Africa and you're in a
Mm.
relationship with someone who's also been born and raised in Africa, cohabitation is a disaster
It's a
because
no-no.
that
Mm.
man or that woman already has in their mindset they're going to get married to someone, and that person is definitely not you. Because if it's you, they will do the marriage before cohabitation. But for people who were born and raised in the abroad in UK, US, their way of like the way they think about marriage is different. So they don't necessarily think they need to be married to start to like they need to be married to raise kids or start a family. And it works for them, it works. But for us who have been born and raised in Africa, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It just and like the man or the woman ends up leaving eventually because they find someone else they want to marry. And sometimes they didn't even spend like a month with the person. You just hear. I mean, in Lagos, there's this thing in on the internet. They would say fear Igbo women because if you break a Igbo girl's like heart, you could just go to the village and you just send the invite the next day like she's going to marry someone. So it's like a funny joke, but what I'm just trying to say is like for us Africans, especially with the ones that are raised in Africa, we think marriage comes before cohabitation. But for people in the diaspora, like people who were raised here, they don't like put an emphasis on the marriage. Is the cohabitation and raising the kids that's more important for them. So that's all I wanted to say.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, Auntie, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I hope your day is going well.
My day is great. Thank you. Where are you
Awesome.
joining us from? And what do you have to
Uh,
say?
I'm calling from the US, Chicago.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm gonna play devil's advocate here for I'm an African. I'm from Nigeria. So but for Obodoyibo here,
Mm,
living living with your girlfriend or your fiance or somebody you have you probably have in mind has its benefits. It's very common here,
mm-hmm,
even among our fellow Africans. You find people living together because one of the reasons why they do that is because of uh, you don't have to spend much. Why should I go pay $1,200 for one bedroom apartment, two-bedroom apartment when I can live with my boyfriend or my fiance and
mm-hmm.
we split it. So
Yeah.
these are some of the things that encourage that lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
It is not something that I embrace, but when I see people do it, I'm not quick to say, oh, you're not supposed to be doing this. Culturally, from where we come from, we're not, yeah, and religiously, if we should put it that way,
No,
we are
I
not
want
supposed to.
let me say something, Barry. I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
judging anybody for doing it. It's your life. You can, I mean, people can do whatever they like. But what I'm saying is that my own children, like for instance, my daughter, when it comes, because it's okay for you not to have an opinion about people who are adults, but when it comes to your children, you see, your stand will change quickly. You see what I mean?
Yes, yes,
So if you
yeah.
have a daughter, would you allow her to go and live with a man that is not she's not married to?
I I wouldn't want that to happen, but Auntie, I have
See,
to.
you
I
see
would not want that.
how quickly your
I
stand
wouldn't
changed.
want that. We always want the ideal.
Oh dear.
We will
Uh,
always want the best for our kids. We want them to go through the best routes, when
yeah.
it comes to and everything. But um this is what I told myself. I have a 6-year-old,
Hmm.
and I remind myself this that this girl will hit 18 one day, and yeah, she would move on with her life. She becomes an adult. She starts making decisions. She gets her own place. So the best that anybody can do right now is you try to inculcate the best that you can,
Barry, go
and
ahead.
if it sticks, it sticks.
Hello,
I don't know.
Barry. We can't hear you anymore. Can you guys hear Barry? Oh, Barry, we can't hear you anymore, unfortunately. Mama Jojo, if you can hear me now, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, hello,
Oh, we
Auntie
just
B. How are
lost
you? Can
Barry.
you hear
Okay.
me?
Hello, Mama Jojo.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear us? It seems like everybody is having connection issues
I
today.
can hear you. Can you
So
hear
you see
me?
how I had to ask Barry that question because when you're an adult, it's easy for you to say, okay, but when it comes to your children, parents are very, very protective. That's one thing. Okay? You can hear him.
Can you hear me? I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Barry is not even on the studio again.
I am here. Can you hear me?
Ah, oh Barry o. Wàhálà ti today o. Pẹ̀lú kíní yìí o. What's going on now? Me, I
I can
cannot hear.
hear
Oh.
you. I
Barry
can
is
hear
gone.
you.
Who is speaking? Is
Can
it
you hear
Mama
me, Auntie
Jojo?
B?
Okay, because me, I cannot hear. And unfortunately, if I cannot hear, I cannot do the. Mama Jojo is speaking. Okay, let me try again.
Can you hear me? Can you hear
Hello,
me?
Mama Jojo.
Hello, can you hear me?
Ah, wàhálà dé o.
Hello,
I
can
am
you
so
hear me?
tired of this thing today. Wallahi talai, someone be like,
This is a good.
so
Can
tired.
you hear? Can you hear me?
Okay, I'm hearing you now. Go ahead.
Okay, Auntie B, this is a good topic, and first of all, I want to say thank you. Um, it just I will say in Africa, like if you are truly born again Christian and you fear God, if both of you and the man fear God, you will do it the godly way of waiting and and until marriage. That's how God intended to be, right? But what it is, NTB, we have to understand there are more bad people in society than good people, right? So even if you raise your children right with these godly principles, and you have more the peer pressure and all of this pressure that's going around, majority of people will say this is what is good, even if you raise them well. But there are more people in the society with all morals and norms. So when you have a child that you say, okay, this is what the Bible says, this is what God says, this is what the godly standards are, when they're under your roof, they will tend to follow those rules. But when they get out there, it's a 50-50 chance that they meet the right person with the right morals who will enforce those views and values. Now, coming to the American culture, even if the church, like some churches don't teach this at all, some parents don't teach this at all, some elders don't teach this at all, right? So when majority of people believe the wrong thing, even if you believe the right thing, it's a struggle. That's what I see. But I would not want my daughter living with a man she's not married to, even though she was born in America. She didn't see
That's
me
what
do
I
it.
see. But I would not want my daughter living with a man she's not married to, even though she was born in America. She didn't see That's what I see. But I would not want my daughter living with a man she's not married to, even though she was born in America. Go ahead, Mama Jojo. Go ahead, Mama Jojo. Mama Jojo has just gone. Hmm. I don't know. Seems like our internet. Yeah. Mama Jojo has just gone. Let's try again. Aham, can you hear me? Seems like our internet. Yeah. You can hear me. Okay, go ahead. You're welcome.
Auntie B, how are you? Hello? Hello?
I'm good, thank you.
Can you hear me, ma?
I'm good, thank
Oh,
you.
who's talking? Is it me or?
Can you hear me, ma?
Yeah, go ahead. Aham.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So for me,
I'm sorry.
I would say it's not really a good idea, but
Oh.
if you have a culture, if you're a cultural person and if you're a religious person, you should know what your cultural values are or what your religion speaks of. So that's what you should stand on to, like hold on to your religion, hold on to your culture. But if you're not into any cultural preference, you can decide to do whatever you want to do. Just like in America now, like people are doing things that are not even normal. They still like are okay with it. So I think as a Nigerian or as an African, it's much more better for you to 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 get married before you decide to live with your spouse or anybody. And based on my experience so far in America, I think even the Americans they don't really like it. I've had a similar conversation with some females here, and they don't really like it. But it's just the situation of things, and they can't just not do it because it's just what the environment based on the cost of living, you know. So personally, I won't support it, and I don't think anybody is gonna encourage it if they have their own reasons. I think that's just personal. Thank you, Auntie B.
Thank you very much for that. I'm going to Ekele. Thank you very much
Hi, TB, how you doing?
for that. I'm going to Ekele. Thank you very much. I'm good. Please go ahead. My audio is horrible tonight. Just go ahead. I can hear you.
Okay, ma, no problem. I'm going to talk on behalf like of some of the younger Nigerian women here in the US. Most of us are opposed to the idea of living with um our boyfriend or even a male in general because even if my mom hasn't didn't really preach on it, I kind of had that sense that it's going to end badly. So it's better that you live, by yourself because anything can happen. Hello?
Okay. Go ahead, Ekene.
Yes, ma'am. Because I nearly had that kind of incident with a man, I guess years ago. He was trying to make me to move in with him. And I keep on saying no. And he didn't really tell my parents about it. So he kept pushing me. I kept saying no because the amount of the rent, I didn't have enough money that time to pay for it. And I had the sense to know that even like in the future, if we break up, he might leave me with everything and that will make me, have amounts of debt. So later on, I got to find out on my own that he had an ex. He did the same thing with his ex. And once he fought with her, he left the house with her, on her name. And, and she had to, pay for it. And she's still in debt because of it. So that made me become very adamant, even in the future. If I'm dating somebody, the man has to have his own house, has his own apartment, and I have mine. The only time I'm going to live with him is when we are married and we're engaged and we have done the marital rights back home. That's when I'll fully be open to move in with a man. Thank you, Auntie. That's what I have to say.
All right. Thank you so much, Ekele, for that. Really appreciate that. To be honest, I think it comes down to the values. All right. Thank you so much, Ekele, for that. Really appreciate that. To be honest, I think it comes down to the values. All right. Thank you so much, Ekele, for that. Really. Okay, Ezekiel, I got you. You're welcome.
Good evening. Yeah, good evening. Hello, Auntie B. Hello, Auntie B.
Go ahead, I can hear you.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Auntie B, and thank you for this talk.
I can hear you. Go ahead, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm talking. Yeah, the point is cohabiting. I don't think it's bad. We Africans, we exaggerate in our beliefs. First of all, we want to talk about Christendom. Where did it come from? We have our tradition before Christianity was brought to Africa. And not going too deep about religion, but we exaggerate. We just hide everything and even do it better, worse than the people that give it to us. Now, cohabiting has a lot of advantage. A lot. Aside the fact that many women would say it is the man that will benefit because he's having free KY. What is KY for both of us, for crying out loud? One person does not do KY, even it's called a different name, it's called Masco. So I don't understand why it's a benefit for one person. Then secondly, in the West, it saves a lot of finance. A lot. And if really you're going to settle down with that person in future,
But does our culture, Ezekiel, does it entertain cohabitation though?
We are now in the West. We are now in the West.
No, because we're in the West doesn't mean that we don't know where we come from anymore.
No, it doesn't mean we don't know where it comes from. Many of us are going to have kids that are going to be second generation. And we don't think we should be, raising these kids with the mindset of Africa. Why living here and training your children like, I think there are some of our cultures that are very, very good. We can really pass it to the next generation. But why living here and telling, just like the way we are against people, you are living in the West and you're building businesses in Nigeria and you're not there, or in Africa you're not there. The same thing. There are some values we shouldn't continue while we're in the West.
So I believe that you are married, Ezekiel, right?
Yeah, and can I just say something? I've told my wife something. I said, I wished we cohabit. There were so many obstacles that we had in our early marriage. We would have gone past to it, cohabiting. Because I don't think any good man who has cohabit would want to just leave the lady for another person. If you
So
really cohabit, you must have
you
seen a
cohabit
value
and the
that you
relationship
really.
is not working. That's when you leave her. You don't marry somebody that you're already having problems with.
No, you work out your problem. Even in marriage, there are
Why can't you work
problems.
out the problems in marriage?
Why should I just go ahead? That's why most of our sisters are marrying. What, how do we call them in this family here? Mongo Park. And the worst thing is they don't realize most of the Mongo Park people who marry Mongo Park, they're giving birth to one child, second child, the third child. That's when their eyes open that he is Mongo Park. They would have avoided this stuff while they're cohabiting. And to me, it is better to lose my cash. It is better to lose a love cohabiting than to lose it in marriage. It's pain. Now you're going along with those three children, trying to figure out your life, and the man is gone married another one, and you are thinking nobody because you didn't cohabit. Sometimes the cohabiting is the benefit is even for the women. I will tell you, most of the time it's for the women. Because the men, someone like me, I'll bring the larger part. I'll treat you like a gentleman. I'll do my part. For crying out loud, I'm a chef, so cooking is not going to be a problem for that woman. And right now, as I'm talking to you, I'm in the kitchen. Because why? I can tell my wife, today you're not cooking. I'll do the cooking. I'll take care of the family. Cohabiting makes you people can.
Ezekiel, let me ask you this, Ezekiel. Would you
Tell me.
allow your daughter to go and live with a man that hasn't married her?
My daughter is here in the West. I'm going to train her up and I will leave her to the world. All I will do is believe in her that she won't mess up. It's not true. You can't follow your kids everywhere. Do you know what she hangs out in school with? Do you know what she does? Just give them the values. The Bible says train up a child in the way he should go. He said when he's old, he will not depart from it. You see, the values you put on your child gives you the confidence that among those people, my child is not there. Among those work people, because you install values. If you believe in your child, there's something my daughter will look at my face. She knows she's 7. She looks at my face, she knows what that is saying. Imagine if she could be outside, she knows daddy doesn't like this thing. She would do it. I understand that there are peer pressure, but sometimes our values pays a lot. So we shouldn't just say, will I allow my daughter? No. If she chose to do it, I will just caution her and give her some instruction. I won't say don't do it. I will disown you. You know this African style. I will disown you. You're bringing my name to the mud. I'm a Christian. I'm a bishop. You can't do that. Those people who are saying they are bishop, they are everything. The care of whether they go to for motel, who they see her. Now all of them married virgins. What could they talk through now? You understand this thing? So cohabiting, not be saying all about career work. There are other advantages. You can even, you and your partner can even learn a sport together. You can learn an activity that you grow old. You see, when we think after 20 years, you say, oh, we remember when we went to the music school just learn how to sing songs. You see, these are things we'll talk about the white people today. These are what they talk about. Now they are old. You say you remember when we went to the club. You remember when we went to this restaurant. Remember when
as completely disagreeing with you, Ezekiel, about your stance on it, but that's your personal stand. But what I will take away from what you said, we usually agree, but we don't need to agree all the time. Okay? And I'm okay with that. But what I'm going to take away with what you are saying is that because we are here now, we should start living like Oyibo people. So we don't remember where we come from again because we live in the diaspora now. So we should just begin to behave like them. And everything they do, it's not everything they do that we will take. I believe it's all about individuals. What do you believe? Okay, what is your value? Okay, for instance, in my household, like my husband will never ever allow his daughter to go and cohabit with a man that has not married her. It's not going to happen. She can do it if she decides to say, okay, I don't care, dad, mom, I'm going to do whatever I like. I'm an adult. You can't tell me what to do. But she's not going to have the blessing. It's just because, first of all, as Christians, you shouldn't do that. As Africans, as far as I remember, and a lot of people are making comments in the comment section that they are cohabiting in Nigeria, or they cohabit in Nigeria. But I think what a lot of people are confusing for cohabiting in Nigeria is people who marry without ceremonies. Okay, in Nigeria back then, traditionally, like Ezekiel, what Ezekiel is saying is that you don't take somebody's wife and then you return, or you somebody's child and you return the child and say, "Oh, I'm not marrying again." We are doing testing. I want to test whether I like her or not. Then I will now return her back. And the part about what Ezekiel was saying about Mongo Park, if you live with Mongo Park, that's when you will now know whether it's Mungo Park or not, then you will not marry them. What is the courtship for then? Do you need to go and live in somebody's house and you will live together and wake up together, sleep together every day for you to know the person? Because what my son was saying, I didn't play the whole thing. The argument he was making is that you don't really know people like that until you live with them. But anyway, that's just my stand. I don't believe, and I don't agree. Anyway, Ezekiel, that is my stand on it. So I'm not going to
And to
agree with you
be,
on this one.
yes, we stand to disagree in some stand. But when it comes about immorality, is it because we are cohabiting that is leading to immorality? The what would they do for bad? Not be
We don't talk.
immorality.
No, that's a different comment. I've tried to ignore somebody that's been talking about immorality. We're not talking about immorality.
Exactly.
No, that we're not talking about immorality, but you cannot even compare it to going to visit someone and living with somebody. We are talking about a woman giving up, her right to have a committed relationship because she wants to do trial marriage to a man. Like this auntie for screen one that they look so. 2 years, 4 years of dating a man, living with him, sleeping with him, washing and cooking and doing wife duty without commitment. If he's too lazy to commit, sisters, I beg, all of one are they cohabit. I know condemn
And
una.
to be,
So
even
thank
some
God this
women,
one.
and then go say,
But
they
if
go
you
say
never
that.
go tell am, I don't encourage anybody. Me, I will never encourage anybody to do
But
it.
like
Yeah.
me now, even some women, they won't agree. They'll say, okay, make am fair. Make this, when you don't cash out, then we can settle down. So in that moment, let's just be, you understand? And, I like the way most of this cohabiting is happening now. Many of the ladies are wise up. They don't go start giving birth. Many of them, they know what they want. They know that this is cohabiting. This guy is not going to pay money on my head. I don't want to carry the leg inside. But sometimes if it happens,
So if you live with this one today, tomorrow you go live with this one. How many men you go live up and down with before you go decide to
no,
marry?
as if he once bitten twice shy now. No be say person go just go dey cohabit with all the old men. You trust your
See for
partner.
screen
That's
so
that.
now. Ezekiel, look this man, this auntie for screen. Don't live with 4 years. Look at her now. She look like baby. Where is she going to start from again? You know
As
what
if
it
in
is to live with
4 years,
somebody,
shey
to be
na
committed
18
to
years she be
somebody.
when she go live with person 4 years. She's getting
How
old
many
before she
years
wants to live with
if I do
someone.
2 years? If I do 1 year, come out, can't go another person again, go
No,
do, they move up and
you
down.
go
If Papa
look
not
at
get
the
house,
spending.
no,
No,
me I
as
agree
if
with you.
okay, what if she dey west now and the papa no dey house, you no get house for here? What if
What? It not
she's
day
an
west.
immigrant?
It not day west. Now, even if it day west, not being leg, it take carry come here. Now man, he come meet for you. I
But
not
you know
make
say
that
na where we
argument.
go
I
take
beg.
help each other there now.
If
From
it's
there
because
now.
of bills, why you know if you share house with girlfriends? Why must it be a man that she sharing house with?
Some ladies they actually say they prefer staying with guys than with ladies because of the trouble of fellow ladies. So, you maybe you just you and this guy, there's this connection, there's this butterfly, and you
I
just say,
beg
okay, fine,
you, which kind butterfly? Butterfly
let's see
come.
how it works. And the
No,
but some of these things really
not
lead
for
to good
me.
marriages though. Some of these things really
Okay.
lead to
Even Beyonce talk and say, if you like it, put a ring on it. And so it is the traditional way we do it, is the Christian way we do it. Ezekiel, thank you very much for your contribution. I have to let you go because I got someone else in the studio. I'm rounding up now. If you have a contribution, you want to come into the studio, please do come into the studio. Blessing. But I said the matter, do you want kind? You decide, say you want to put. Oh yeah. Welcome, my darling. How are you? Unmute yourself, Blessing.
Hello, good evening, Auntie V.
Good evening, my darling.
This topic today, like, I want to bring it to this way. Like, let's make this argument in terms of our Christianity, our belief, and not our culture. Because I hear you say all the time, like, if you are leaving the Murtala Mohammed airport, there are some things about our culture that we should just drop there before coming to the country.
Yes.
So, in that way, it's not like I am saying people should cohabit. No, I'm not supporting that. But I want to see it in the Christian way. Like, let's do this in the way that God says man and wife should not live together. Like in the Christian way, God does not support that. So if
Right.
we should listen to God, to trust God by his ways, even though sometimes you trust in what God has said and you are believing, even without meeting the man or without having anything to do with him before marriage, you
Mm-hmm.
still trust God, and because you are obeying to the God's word, He's going to like protect you and guide you, even when things come up along the way. God is going to show you ways, and He's going to be a blessing to you if you fully trust Him. And people are saying cohabiting without having anything in mind. Like Christian way says you should do your Christian courtship. So people should not think about living together. The Christian way, when you are doing your courtship before marriage, because some are scared. Okay, what if I didn't get to live together with this person, and we get married? When I start seeing some bad sides of this person, why am I going to? Well, how am I going to continue to live with this person? That is why the Christian belief says you should do the Christian courtship before marriage. But people, they want to do the Christian courtship and sleep behind without telling their pastor or their minister. And they think they are doing the pastor. Oh, okay, if we don't tell him, nothing is going to happen. It's getting together to know this person. You know, sometimes you sleep with a man, you don't love that man, you are just going after him lustfully. There are some things about him that you do not know. So I am discouraging people from living together. I would not advise my one to live together. And you know, in this country, children, they don't open eyes finish. So I'm going to raise her in a way, or my daughter, my son, I'm going to raise them in a way that they should see reasons the way God says we should live as Christians, and not like the cultural perspective. Because
Okay.
the thing our Nigerian culture, there are so many things we should dispose of our culture that is not good. So I
Thank
will
you
tell
very
you,
much.
don't live because you can live together, having sex together. The person don't see you finish.
It's
So
carry
you are
what is yeah, blessing.
also sorry. So they're having kerewa together. They are going lustfully, and the
Yeah,
things you should do that person you don't know. So
yeah.
they cut stone. When a man sees a woman, 3 months is enough for the man to know if I am going to live together with this person or not. So just
All
like
right. Thank you very much, Blessing. Unfortunately, I have to move on because of time. I appreciate your contribution. Somebody said something that caught my eye. Nwa says, in my village, if you cohabit with a lady and you didn't pay her dowry, the day she deletes in your house, you must marry her. Oh, that is another. I think there's somewhere in Nigeria they do that. Are you from Nigeria, Nwa? That one's strong, go. Come marry Oku. May God not allow us to marry Oku. Ha, that one, Olagbara. Charleston Brown.
Good evening, Auntie B.
Hello, Chelsea. Can you hear me?
Can you
Good
hear me,
evening,
Auntie
dear. How
B?
are you?
Fine.
Yes, I'm hearing you.
I'm
Hey, I hear
looking
you
forward
today.
to your show
Hallelujah,
every.
Meje.
I've been looking forward to your show every time now. This your show
Okay,
is
you don't change your
like
internet.
medicine now to me. Oh. The day I don't watch your show, like yesterday now you didn't come on air. I felt it too. Do you know I was looking at
Sorry, I go soon they do daily again. More now they pray for me. May God give me strength.
Auntie, this topic is very interesting one. First of all, that caller just now, I disagree 100%. I disagree.
Mm-hmm.
Forget say Oyibo na bring religion come or anything. Our African tradition does not support this kind of living together. Even back in the day, our grandparents' time, when a man see a woman wey like, e no go even talk to am o. E go meet the family, go talk to am say e see flower wey e
Mm-hmm.
wan go pluck. Na so
Mm-hmm.
dem dey take dey do am. They not even the reason to even go fair talk to the lady self. They go go discuss her with family. Then before the family will call ask the girl, say somebody like you, what. If the girl already know you already, maybe from far, she feel herself now. Then before now the man family will come meet her, they go settle the marriage right and everything before she go live with man. So this cohabitation, anything where a woman see inside, may carry am, because me no support. How you go comot for your papa house, you go live with man wey dem not give you to, then tomorrow you meet voicemail for there, you come dey cry say he do me bad, he wicked me, he use me. He no use you, na your choice wey you go pack go stay with person wey no settle your family first. Your family no know am, nobody know am. That comment just now wey dey talk say wey that person write say you go marry the person, na true. I don see am happen. You go pay that bride price for the dead body. E dey happen for Nigeria. That one na true. So that kind of thing, I say e no just good. I no support am. Wetin this girl just do, I no pity am o. Sorry o, say I no dey sensitive.
If you see as people they laugh am, if on my Instagram go look at some people, some women they say, sorry oh auntie, on to the next. Take her to people they laugh am. Now women they laugh am. Honestly.
You?
Oh, you keep saying that people are living together. I hear you. People are living together. They are not married. Okay, we know. But you've forgotten that wedding.
Wait now. But it doesn't make it right. That is the point.
No, we don't. It's not. You've forgotten that church wedding is not the only legal way of marrying. It's not the only way that Africans marry. There are traditional ways of marrying. There are different ways of marrying. Just because somebody did not go to church does not mean they are not married. In some places in Nigeria, when you don't live together with man, maybe you born first pikin. When you don't born pikin, maybe the man and the family would all go see your parents, pay dowry. You're married. That is a recognized marriage in Africa.
You don't need to do the party, oh.
You don't need to do party. You don't even need to do church or anything like that.
Now that might be the marriage, not even the list. Now it be the full marriage. That bride price and that.
So there are different ways that people marry. You don't know. And even if people live together when they're not married, me personally, I can speak for myself. I know they encourage anybody to do that one. And I will tell all my sisters, I beg.
This will not be about old school. This will not be about new school. This now the truth. Be say.
How many men you go live with? You go live with this one 2 years. Next you go live with the other one 3 years. Wait see. And people they talk about money. Now about money matter. If you don't get money to rent house, you don't go sublet.
The thing say if you live with the man finish, tomorrow he dump you now. You go marry. Okay, now this man won't marry somebody where you know what will live with right now. But he don't live with you for you.
That green card though, don't go marry green card.
This way he won't marry now, come better pass you. You see how not be from outside he won't marry and so did they live together? No. So why must you live with somebody? Why must you live with somebody that has not paid your bride price? Because he is going to marry somebody that he has not lived with before now.
But because you see the funny thing, Chelsea, because the man knows to get something to gain now, he the quick go marry. He won't go marry the Americanna now because he knows a green card day in line. Why not just with the Americanna?
So why don't you make yourself worthy for man to marry you from outside too? Why must you be the one to be the scapegoat? Why must you give yourself to be the scapegoat of one man? So that's why I say this kind of matter. I know they feel sorry. I know they feel sorry. This kind of matter, they say, "Young, good for you. Who send you? If you like this."
I beg, I don't feel loud.
It's good for you.
That's why a lot of people they tell for Instagram. I love
I know they tell sorry for this. I know they pity this one. I thought this kind of one. I know they support
that's big risk. So you don't carry yourself, go dump yourself for man house for 2 whole years. They keep for him. I can't do it. I know
marriage. You go do the marriage first before you move into the house because people they talk for man.
Now the value when you place on yourself, now man go place on you. If you give yourself free for him, you not guarantee to go marry because he not promise you marriage. Now you carry yourself, go sit down for your house.
If he really want you, like you said, Auntie B, right from the day one he see you, if he like you, he go do the right thing. You know, after if it too take 6 months, you're supposed to know where you belong in that relationship. 6 months when you date somebody.
You know, finally, Chelsea,
know.
before I move on to Kofowola, Madele, your connection is not good. That's why I keep taking you out. Try again, because I can't add you the way you are. Just keep
Yes,
trying
Auntie
until you get it right. Make I tell you something. The fact be saying, man, when one marry you, go marry you. If you
Thank you.
if you date man 1 year, 1 year, 6 months, he never marry you. What do you still they do with him? What are you still doing? You they wait. Why your time
For
is
me,
going?
that one would take 6 months.
Because
You're supposed to carry your leg the wrong comfort.
you go there with man. Okay, you there with man 4 years, he never marry you. What do make you believe say he go marry you? Why?
Thank you.
If he never marry you for 4 years, but the one where you never meet for America now because of green card, you don't.
They give excuse say money. Nobody see evil person dey. I get cousin wey marry. He comot for NYSC. He never get shishi for back account, but he marry. So it's not about money. This matter not be about money. If you like somebody, you go marry. If you want marry.
Now, so thank you, my darling Chelsea.
Thank you, Auntie B.
All right.
Good evening.
Are they on tomorrow? Most likely.
Okay. I will watch out.
Thank you. Monilola, Samolu is in the comment section and he keeps saying that I would not like what he has to say. I don't have any problem with what you have to say, Samolu. What I don't like is, we have to respect one another's, especially when it comes to our faith. Okay, what I don't like is when you come and you trash Christianity. I don't like that, because that's my faith. Whether you agree with it or not, at least that respect should be there. Okay, so that's what I don't like. I'm not saying you shouldn't share your opinion, but don't come here and insult or say things that will make it seem as if Christianity is, we're always saying Christianity. What is Christianity? Faithful Father. If prayers are being answered, why Nigeria? Why is Nigeria like all those kind of talk? It's not good. They should say it doesn't show that you respect my faith. That's what I don't like. I'm not saying you must be a Christian or your comments must be about Christianity. It's just that respect needs to be there. That's all I'm saying. Okay. I respect everybody, whether you're a Muslim, Hindu, voodoo, whatever you are doing, it's okay. It not bother me. We all answer to God individually. God's grace honor, the link is in comment section. Just click on it. If you see Obodoyibo TV, click on it. Right. Kofoworola, you are next. You're welcome.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. You're welcome.
Hi. So I'm kind of just pitched on the fence with this topic.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, I think the guy that spoke earlier. I think he had a point. I do take some points that he's made, but also there's certain points on there that he probably shouldn't have made, to be quite honest, because there's some points that are pretty much quite judgmental. But I just think in general, I think if you as a woman decides to want to go and live with a guy, I think you should always have a bit of a plan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily think you go in there and say, well, I'm just going to live with him in the hope that he marries me one day and he sees me as a wife. I think there should always be a bit of a plan going on. I personally think if you go ahead and you live with someone, there is also the advantage of understanding the type of person they really are before you actually commit to them as well.
Right.
Because I don't know,
isn't that what we do during courtship though, and relationship? Isn't that when you get to know and understand one another's behavior, character, compatibility and all that?
You do, but I don't think you get to know it at the level of being together, like literally waking up with each other day and night.
What I'm thinking, I agree with you. You don't never know people as well deeply until you live together. But what is because when you get married, the excitement and what is the thing that you look forward to in marriage then, if you're already doing trial marriage? That's what I mean. Because now you are living together. The man is not motivated to marry you. You are there 2, 3, 4 years. And then if he decides not to marry you, what do you do?
Yeah, I think obviously just in terms of that, I think this particular story that you're touching on here, I think the woman's very stupid, to be honest with you, because you don't necessarily go into a marriage, you don't necessarily go into a relationship hoping that someone's going to marry you one day. Have an honest conversation with the person, find out what they want, find out exactly, give them a bit of a time limit, give them a bit of a time constraint for them to work towards. That's personally the way I see it. I don't necessarily see it as in, you just kind of walk in there and you go in there blindly and you're hoping that the person's going to marry you. I think that's when it all starts to fall to shambles. I mean, there's also the other part about Christianity as well, which, of course, God always says that you should always, he recognizes marriage and that. But I don't know. I just kind of think that when you're courting with someone, you don't really know them much. I think and I also think when you're courting with them, it is pretty much a shot in the dark, because once you're married to them, let's say you're courting, you then get married and all of that. If it doesn't work out, then what? You're literally stuck in that marriage, aren't you? You're
No,
literally
that's
stuck in
courtship.
there,
You're
and
not
then you've
living
got to try
together.
and work it
You
out
do
somehow.
relationship because that's exactly why you do relationship. If it doesn't work, then you start another relationship after you heal. But when you live together, I'm saying my own personal opinion now, and I take yours as well on board, what you are saying, Kofoworola. And you were saying that you don't necessarily date because you expect them to marry. Of course, you date with marriage in mind, especially for a lot of women. You have to be dating intentionally if you desire marriage. You can't be dating and you're just dating with nothing to look forward to. How many women want to date and is never leading anywhere? I don't think a lot of women will want that. You have to date, with the intention that I'm dating for marriage. Even men do that. At a certain age, they say, okay, it's time for me to settle down. I'm going to date for marriage now. So that is the end that you are working towards. And so you have relationship. If it doesn't work out, everybody goes their own way. I don't live with you. I've not done wifely duty. You haven't done husband duty. There's no commitment between us. There's no ring, no ceremony. So everybody goes their own way.
Yeah, I mean, I do see what you mean in that sense, and this is why I'm saying that I'm pitched on the fence with this.
Yeah.
With this
Okay.
whole thing.
I'll take that. Thank you very much for your call, Kofoworola. You say you are on the fence, and that is understandable. I understand where you're coming from. What you say, I don't agree. I'm very clear on this one on my own stand, and I know a lot of people are clear about their own stand. But some women will cohabit irrespective. I mean, it's all about individuals, like I said. It's all about individuals. But me, for myself, even when I was a girl, I've always had marriage in my mind because I know I want to get married. So right from when I was in university and I started dating, initially it was just dating to have fun and, boyfriend. I wasn't old enough, but when I was getting to my final year, oh my, yeah, you go university for Nigeria, but when you go to reach final year, everybody's dating now. Everybody's dating with purpose now.
I'm telling you. When I did university that time, I might not talk my story for you. All these your subscribers, they too get mad.
What I go feel make them.
Exactly. See, Sister B, thank you for this topic. Waiting. Make we, whether you be Christian, whether you be Hindu, whether you be whatever it is that you are, spiritually there are great ramifications for living, because for living with someone that you are not intentionally wanting to build with, even the culture where they come from, traditional culture. Right? They not support cohabitation. You must marry the woman. I get auntie when we say we will say it's cohabitation, right? They live with this man, he born one, he born two, he born. Now my grandpapa tell and say, what is going on? We go when
Are
they
you
come put money for your head.
coming to pay bride price or what?
Exactly. Do you know they had to summon the man to the village?
No,
He had to pay diary.
The kind papa where I get, my father, he was a man of few words. You know, they talk, but I never see any man who go come take my papa picking put for house, say no pay bride price. They're not born you way.
This one run. He run go meet the man. So when they don't know where she did for a long time. When they can't find out, now they summon, they can't discover where the man come from. They can't summon in people. I'm telling you, they pay bride price.
You know what happened to one of my sisters one time? I just one small short story.
I beg just me, Gary.
Now one of my sister, I can't go to this guy. The man, he come from Delta State. Whether now Robo Abi na Ishekiri. I just say na Ishekiri man. Now he come our village. You come to date my sister. They're not married. Not be say they're married, but my sister go in house, go stay. Hey, you know what my papa do? My papa they are alive. I'm still small. This story why they tell you. So I don't remember now. You know what my papa do? My papa take police arrest the man. He go carry police. He tell police say this man say they kidnap his daughter. They put for house. Say they thought say when they say you always dey in house. Say make the answer say whether you don't come see him, whether you don't come pay bride price, I be can't tell him say one married daughter wait till they keep his daughter for house. I say no, it's not they beg before my papa gree free that man.
Yeah. Absolutely, because
you wrong, come out.
Yes, because I'm Peking. You know, if you just house in Peking for us, he don't know you. He don't know the type of person.
Disciplinary fathers, the parents, they don't take that. No.
They don't take them. Somebody like my papa, how you want to take do am? You know, so this one we they talk for maybe more put all the religion aside. Spiritually, because human being a tripartite person, there's a soul, there's a spirit, there's a body. Forget that. So when you cohabit with another man, nothing, no purpose in the process, nothing, just they do it for play. Guess what? Not only are you connecting with that man on the physical realm, so now they gbadun ourselves, they connect on that spiritual realm too. Some of the issues when they see for marriages, sometimes even for year obodo land, people are complaining. I get one platform when I did every day they are complaining. They are saying that they know this cohabitation, living with somebody, it they affect them. Some of them they go mental health classes because of that. So with this matter when they talk, not be smart thing because now the women they affect pass.
Now women they affect pass. That's true. Now women, you know they pay women. Look this and thing now.
Lose.
You know pay women.
Lose.
You know pay women.
Yeah,
just hold on. Hold your thoughts there. Make I add Samolu so that I go hear with Samolu one talk. Hello Sam, you're welcome.
Hello Auntie B.
How are you?
I'm fine. Okay. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk tonight.
You're welcome.
You know, my own perspective is this. I believe that cohabitation. I don't have anything against cohabitation. I'm neutral about it, and it is a choice for individual that want to cohabitate. I was agreeing with Ezekiel that make a comment initially that people they cohabit because they want to manage their cost, all these things. And I have seen a live example with colleagues, and my brother-in-law cohabit with our girlfriend for about 4 years before they in the process of cohabitation they buy their first house, and it was after then they got married. And they were living in a rented apartment for a year or something too before they moved to their house. And they live in that house it was 4 years after, about 3 years after they bought their house. That was when they got married, and they are married with 2 kids now. And I have colleagues that I've worked with that even an African, a Gambia lady married to a Nigerian guy. They cohabit for
people don't do it, Sam.
Yes,
I don't say people don't do it.
But in my own perspective is that I don't have any problem with it. Somebody was asking me in the comment section, will I allow my daughter to do it? I said, I'm going to advise my daughter on the pros and cons if she wants to make that decision. Because you know, when somebody become an adult, there are a lot of things that even you as a parent, you might not like it, but you also need to advise. It's not that I don't have any problem with it. I will advise her on the pros and cons, why she should do. And if she wants to cohabit with somebody, of course, I will know the person. I will know the kind of guy he is. I won't just say, oh, she won't just tell me she wants to go and cohabit. I want to know the person. There are people that even in marriage, one thing women should learn from cohabiting with someone is that, number one, from cohabitation, you have to draw the line, the boundary between, you know, let the person know this is how it's going to be in marriage. It's an opportunity for you to understand each other. You
That's
can't
what
be
the
doing.
relationship stage is for. It's not cohabitation that is for that stage. That's relationship stage.
Okay, what I'm trying to say is that if you are cohabiting together, don't be doing even the wife duty. What you are going to do as a wife is what you should start doing when you are cohabiting. Not that you are cohabiting with a guy, like everybody was saying. It is beneficial to the guy because they will have free kerewa, they will have this, the lady will cook for them. As a woman, you should stand your feet and don't let somebody enslave you while you are not even married. Even
Let me
after
tell you
marriage,
the
the
nature
man
of
should
that
not have
man.
it.
Sam,
Yeah,
let me tell you why that is problematic. I will just
yeah,
explain it to you briefly. You are
okay,
talking like a man, and I totally understand. But for women, we are different. Let me tell you something. A woman that is cohabiting, a Nigerian woman that is cohabiting with a man, is expecting marriage. You understand? She's
okay,
expecting marriage. Even if it's 1 year, 2 years, she's still like this. Case in point, this auntie we are talking about 2 years and 4 years of courtship, she's still expecting marriage. That's the difference. So if you're expecting marriage, like if you're a father, let's say you buy something for your daughter Bella, and she knows that she's in good behavior, she will get it. She's not in good behavior. So women will tend to be in their good behavior in that because they still want that ring. You understand? So
yeah.
what you are saying about them putting their foot down, what they will not take in marriage, they will be afraid that, oh, what if he doesn't marry me? Where am I going to start from? All these years I've committed to living with him. They will laugh at me. Everybody knows I'm living with him. I'm doing misses already. You see?
That is why, as a woman, even when you are dating, you are not cohabiting, you are in your father's house. You should always paint a picture of the value system where you are raised, the kind of person you will be in marriage. Not to deceive that man and be forming a mommy, what do you call it, a Christian sister, and eventually in marriage you turn out to be something else. Let the person know this is the kind of person you will get even in marriage before you get married to me. So that is what you should, because a lot of times people marry each other and believe that, oh, this is who I want you to be, and they got into marriage and they become something else, and that is why they begin to have problem in marriage. The moment you have already understand this is the kind of person I'm getting into, I have, like me, when I met her, I already understood the kind of person she is, and I like it because initially, before my wife, I've dated somebody, a lady before, that anything I say, she agrees to it. She doesn't disagree with me. In my mind, I say, this one now, Momo, I can't marry this kind of person that cannot even challenge me. Because anything I say, she will just say, "Oh, that's fine." She does not query, or even when I cheated, she didn't even disagree.
Because that one is mildly mannered now, and she's submissive. For you, because you need a woman that is more, more assertive. It was a problem for you, Samolu, Abi.
Yes, because I was in my mind saying, so if I marry this person, she doesn't, she's not going, even if I am misbehaving, it's not going to put me into order, call me to order. Anything I do is okay. It doesn't query, it's always okay with everything I say. And in my mind, I said, no, this is not the kind of person I want for my life. So that is what so even if you are cohabiting or you are in your parents' house, you can still, be a woman of value to any man. That's my own opinion. And that's it. That's just my own opinion.
Okay, that's all right. Well noted. Bumi, unmute yourself. Thanks, Samalu.
Auntie B, good afternoon.
I have to know you've
Oh,
been
yeah, good
waiting.
afternoon.
You've been waiting in the comment section. At this, you be like, the way I picture you. I picture you as if you sit down cross leg. They shake your leg like this.
Auntie
They
B,
shake your leg.
I dey work. I just off my computer. Say Auntie B was asking me today. Auntie B, thank
Make
you.
I greet Bumi specially. Bumi!
Oh yes,
Hola, hola, chica. ¿Cómo estás?
yes, yes, gracias. Make it I don't vex. Hey, so I want to say something. I've seen a lot of comments from, and I understand from men, but when people say that cohabiting is one-sided, it's the truth. It's one-sided. It's for the man because it gives the man time to make up his mind if he wants to. You don't have that pleasure of time. Women don't have it. We don't have the time to make up our mind to say from age 30 to 34 or age 30 to 40 is when we want to give birth. Or we don't have that time to say this is we don't have it. Our biological clock is not working. That's why most
Apart
of
from
us
that, Bumi, women don't propose as well. That's
so
another
women,
thing that works
African
against
women
us.
don't propose. Even women, even generally, women don't propose. Aside from that, but yes, I even want to look at it from the biological aspect. Then the women that we are, since we're talking about African women, we're not like the head of the family, where we control the man. We are the neck, right? We are the wife. So we are whatever you want us to do. We are going to be on your side. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We'll tell you most of the depending on the kind of character you are, whoever you're dating. So when you say I should come and cohabit, you want to know my true color. Which one is you want to know my true color? You say you like me. Let's date. This is what dating is for. Dating is to find if we are aligned, if our life goals are aligned together, if we are Christian enough, if I like the same things, if we can vibe, then you marry. And then you see, people are married with one mind, is one leg. You are doing tinko. You enter with two legs and you say this one is for better, or for worse, whatever you want to do. You enter, you go with that mind into the marriage. With cohabiting gives room for a lot. You start taking time. Like Samolu said, his brother, gladly he worked for his brother and his sister-in-law because maybe he had the mind to marry her. But there's some people will enter now and say, I'm not doing again. If the man says he's not doing again, are you going to force him? Because
somebody said that Jo is saying now in the comment section, I can read this out to you, Bumi. Listen to this. He said, Omoya, listen to. He said, enter cohabitation with marriage as goal. Keep boundaries. It's okay for people to say things like this, but we all know these are not practical. They're not practical. He said you are a girlfriend. No kerewa, no cooking laundry, etc.
It's not possible. Even when you are dating somebody, you go and do. Everything was saying in the comment. We go and do weekends. Even weekend, people are sleeping with each other. Then when you now enter kerewa, which is against my faith, Christian faith, but I did it. I'm not proud to say I did. This is dating. This is dating. So if you get belly now and you don't, and the man refuses to marry, what's going to happen to you?
You don't read the comment finish. He actually said easier said than done for that same comment for GJO. He's saying easier said than done. Yeah, it's not practical.
It's not. Oh, are you going to be cooking for yourself and you will not cook for the person?
Not give in.
What are you
What
saying?
Is the motivation for him to marry? It should be the whole purpose of the cohabitation is for you to get to know one another, to know whether you are compatible. How the man go marry you if you don't cook,
if you don't like
take care of him?
If you don't know how you take care of the house,
go starve me or I bet can't they go your house?
Thank you. Like for example, me Auntie B, I don't like eating out. Like I'm not the type of person that likes eating back to back. So if he pay me, make I cook. So if I want to cook now and I think I like to cook, I like baking, I like baked food. I feel do meat pie today, do puff tomorrow. So now only me go chop am when I get person where I cohabit with. What kind of thought process? It's not practical. It's stupid. So why don't we just get married? It's not about the celebration. You are just avoiding the work. Nobody wants to put in the work, which is marry and you say, and nobody is deceiving anybody. When you are dating, you are not going to see the person's true color 100%. It goes for men. Men too are acting when they are dating you. They are true. It's not the same husband you married before where he's taking you out. Now you marry, nobody else now go date 24/7.
Exactly. And again, people they forget. When you especially when you get waiting you they date for what's the purpose? Some people
please say when body charge the money, how do you draw boundaries?
Thank you. Thank you. Do you understand?
You go put pillow for in a bed or
people go share different room for the cohabiting.
People are saying that they cohabit for to save money. Okay, if you want to cohabit and you want to put standard no carry well, that means we are going to get 2 rooms. Already you are paying for 2 rooms. So why don't me and my friend just do the 2 rooms?
Exactly.
Why can't I cohabit with my friend so that I will save money for rent? Then when you already be married,
It's not making sense.
It's not
It's
making. Thank you, Bumi.
not
And you
making
know,
sense.
let's say, man, when one marry you, you don't need 1 year before you know say one marry you. Man,
No,
we know where they go.
you don't even need 3 months.
You
If
don't
you
need
want to
3
divorce,
months. What
you
is
know
still
I went to
new?
AD talk with that. AD said, stop wasting time. You should know if you are wife or husband between 3 to 6 months, maximum
Bam.
1 year. I
I'm
like what
telling you.
Onifade said. Onifade said, I think people are missing the point. The whites that cohabit don't have marriage in
thank
exactly. God bless you.
you.
God bless
Exactly.
you, Onifade. You hit
Thank
it on the head.
you. Thank you. Yeah,
Guess
in
what,
Canada
Sister
here,
B?
it's common law.
Guess
Sorry,
what, Sister B? Another side to this.
yeah.
Some of the white women want the marriage, but because the
Mm.
men don't want a man, they claim say they love the man. They are
Yes,
now stuck
they
in that
agree.
situation. Most of
Yes,
these Oyibo people, some of the women, they are not happy that they have. If you
yes,
ask them, they will
And
say,
you know
"Well,
another
I
thing that
think
I've found before, because you cohabit or you both they cohabit 5 years, they not marry. If they marry 1 month, 6 months, they don't divorce. Within 1 year, they don't divorce. So
they
even
work for them.
cohabiting does not guarantee that your marriage will last.
it
Yeah,
does not." Why you want to tell us, Sister B? They've done everything,
yeah.
everything. And people forget that while you're cohabiting and doing all these things that you so-called cohabiting, trust is broken. When you marry, people don't understand these things. When you marry, not be the same way. Oh, that sweetness went for day before you marry, you no go day.
You
All
know, go there.
you
Yeah,
no
before you
go
feel
day.
pack your load, so you they go. Now, where you want pack your load go?
Thank you.
Somebody say, Rita say, I moved in with my baba in November of 2020. By February 21, I don't ask and say, oh boy, when we go marry? He said, I give a timeline. Rita,
Exactly. If
Rita
you're
say, I give
going to
a
do it,
timeline, no, and we marry by
exactly.
June. He said, I don't regret at all because no bad surprises as newlywed. So when you give a timeline, the guys stick with the timeline. So you know one cohabit
Mm.
for 10 years, they'll cut you say, Auntie, come and go. I want a
Mm.
green card from another person in America.
And
Hmm.
to be the worst is gaslighting. They'll give you ring. I almost felt
Hmm.
that for that one. They give you ring.
2
I
years,
want ring for how
3 years.
many years? I not
They
see
not do the
wedding date.
marriage.
Ah,
Engagement forever.
the man can't say make I come move now since we don't engage. I said I don't dey wear ring now 2 years nothing dey happen. He say make I leave make I
You know,
uh-uh.
engaged 2 years. By that time, some people don't born two children. They never see do
Aunty B
marriage for
oh
2 years.
tell me oh thank God say I give myself brain. I just throw the ring go come out. Which
If
one be
person
that one?
engage 1 year, never do marriage, you never set date, you're not ready to marry you, I beg give and ring me the waka.
Hmm.
Now, you see, the way I see it, and now women, they allow men, they waste their time. A lot of
Thank
women,
you, Sister B.
now women.
We don't talk and finish. Now we they allow am. Because if man, I'm telling you now, we as women, now we they allow am. Because if man come meet you, right? If you come meet me now somewhere, let's cohabit. I say no, mba no, lie, cohabit, say waiting they happen. You go meet another woman. That woman not only will she cohabit, she go do wifely duties, to do everything
I'm
for her.
going to born pikin.
They go born
No,
pikin.
make I
So
tell you, one of Esther's friends, they went to secondary school together. You know, say for this part of the world, when they start their friendship now from primary, secondary, all their life, now they be friends. You never see
Mm-hmm.
friendship where they long like that before. Anyway, he get one of his friend there when she was dating this guy.
I get friends like that too.
Me self get, but she has this group of friends where we say they all went to secondary school,
So,
levels, different university, but they are still friends. They are really tight. The girl like go carry belle. When he carry belle,
mm,
now I say, which day the boy go marry? I say, no, no. Say, no, na Jamaica she come from. But she's
oh,
British, British Jamaican. So he can't they say,
mm,
now say, which day the boy want marry? I say, no, no, say they know they talk about marry. They can't they live together. He born one pikin. Mariam,
mm,
he don't born another one now. Trust me, the relationship don't break now. She's saddled with two young children when she dey raise by herself now.
yeah.
Marriage, they're not married. The guy not married and the relationship is over. 2 children.
So there we go. And
Except
guess
marriage
what?
is not important to you, then yes. But if you have marriage as
Exactly.
part of your mind, cohabiting is a no.
What
There's
the
no.
ladies need
Even
to understand that the marriage favors women. The marriage is our advantage. Not the only thing where you get as advantage with that. So if you don't get them and you are playing the role of a wife in quotes, you are selling yourself short. That's the
no,
way me I see.
guess what? Guess what? So that night, if you marry a better man, no. What if you can't marry the man? You can't turn to another thing for person hands. No, that's so
Even
we
if
didn't
you
hear
turn for
story.
another thing, even if because no guarantee for this life, you
That's
don't
true.
know.
That's
That's
true.
what courtship is for. So you know guarantee, but no, you don't get any protection when you know marry you.
Yeah.
Nobody know you, nobody record, you don't get any rights, you don't get any privileges.
Yeah.
Exactly. What they make all this? What they make with the LGBTQ community? What they make that they fight for their rights? The reason
Okay,
why they
why men say
fight
want marry? They want to do wedding.
exactly
In fact,
because
they first agree
thank you.
same sex wetin
Common
dem dey
law.
call am common law no na
Mhm.
partnership na im bring about the partner say make dem be partners
Yes,
so that they marry
Mhm.
them for registry. Those people fight until they get that law changed so that they go dey wed
thank you.
for church. Why?
Mm.
Why they fight
Because
for that? You women when you see they say you they think say no matter, no matter. They do wedding. They fought for it until they got the right to
They were
wed.
able to
exactly,
legally marry. Yeah. Yeah.
If marriage was not important, I'm not sure they would have fought so hard for marriage.
and somebody, I think one of your callers said, I think it was Mama Jojo that said it all. We are living in an upside down world. People, as you know, the good values, everything, everybody they see them as lie. So now the
Mr.
Mm.
bad
Molu,
one, I think
marriage is
because
not guaranteed. Marriage is not guaranteed. That's why we have people coming to here to speak the truth about DV. There's nothing that is guaranteed in life, Samolu. Even
exactly,
the air that will breathe, you know, guarantee say you go see and breathe.
exactly,
The next minute, nothing in life is guaranteed. If they go with guarantee, nobody will do anything. Okay?
exactly. But I
Because
mean,
people they come here and share their story, no me say people know they where they marry, where they get very happy marriages. People they
exactly,
look at okay, for instance, they look and say, okay, DV they happen. So people not go marry again then because DV they
Yeah.
happen. So there's no
Mm.
guarantee in life. Anyway, Mona just want to thought that you two beautiful ladies. Sister Rita, you are welcome. Sorry for the time
Uh,
that is
it's
taking.
okay. Yeah, it's okay. Good evening, everyone.
You're welcome.
Yeah, yeah. In my own opinion, I don't support that a woman should move and live with a man when you are not yet married because uh, back then I've seen a situation that a woman she's working, she had the money, and she moved to join the man. At the end of the day, she end up. May I speak pidgin English?
Mm.
She born one, born two, born three, born four, born five, born six, born seven, born eight, born nine, born 10, born 11.
Eh?
The man no pay cook for her head.
Hey.
And they
11
tell you my
children.
neighbor, the next house. Yes, he no pay cook. You see cook, this cook, he no pay for her head. Waiting happen.
Okay.
If they ask question for yesterday, somebody write say, e get way if you live with man, you can't delete, the person go marry. Yes. The way I did stay before that place,
Mm.
Akwa Ibom, it dey
Yes.
happen real. As
Wow.
this
They go
man
make
born
the
these
man do the
11
marriage.
children, this man get mind, go outside, go do the
You go marry another
yes,
person.
he go do they do outside. As he do finish, that one way go do. No, he go do outside. He no compulsory say the person even live with you. As far as
Mm.
say they know say now you and this person they waka, the person
Yes.
can't go carry delete in that process. You go marry the person. So
Wow.
this man went born with this one they live with this other one we don't born 11 for him. The two of them they work for Enzo Mobile. He go do they do outside. The person where go put the thing, they go put belle, can't delete. You know, say the family of that girl hold on. He go do big marriage for that one head where he don't delete.
I
The
beg,
one
how they
when
take
they
they
inside
do
house,
marriage
till
with the
date
living and
now,
the
he
dead?
never pay cook for him head.
How the living and the dead say they do marriage, Biku?
Yes,
Which kind of culture be that?
they
I
do
think
them,
that is
they go
so.
give a list. They go give a list, they go do party, he go there, marry the body.
That's
I they tell
so.
you this one where
I'm
I
so
stay,
demonic
I see
about
him
that.
life, it they happen.
That's really
So
demonic
if
for
you don't
me.
yes. So and now this woman now, I don't make this man even safe. Now I make him even be who he is today. So if man no one marry you, no go marry you. If you like
That's
born
so.
20, he
Mm-hmm.
no go marry you. And I don't
Mm.
believe say and most time I dey see say they think now people will no get and then they run follow man. It's not true. Or if somebody just say something now that her auntie run follow man, they run follow the men in the
Mm-hmm.
name of waiting. They say
Now
they love
love.
them.
Now
But the
love.
person where they run follow, he love you.
Now so.
They run follow them say na love. Okay, in this other world now, they say they stay together to manage to less expenses. For what?
Mm.
Why? If you no
Mm.
want, if you no fit do that, you go the one way we say you go fit pay. You must not stay together to do because by the time you begin to live with this man, I believe in one thing. When you enter inside marriage, it takes 5 years to understand who a man is. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot really know him. So by the time it's then they study you said maybe get the time to study them because you go they overlook. Say, may come marry me. You know, go won't open up to do the one where we say, make it really know who you be. Because some women are very secretive. See, they are very secretive. So they will not want to open up because they want this thing where they call marriage. It doesn't go that way. This man now, they manifest on the go. They let you know, say, I don't need you. There are different signs, just like you say, red light. There are different signs to know that a man doesn't want you. He doesn't need to carry his mother and tell you, go, I don't want. He get a show where they give you, you know, say he don't want you. So you don't need to live with him. Person won't marry you. Anywhere where you they want for hold, you go come there marry you. Okay, see this lady now. Maybe she did that side now. The man don't find road on another level. He go there shocked. Even this woman where he won't go meet now. At the end of the day, he go leave. He's not going there because of love. He's going there because of waiting he define.
Now green card, they can't go that one. Now you kokoro.
Now waiting they find. Yes, Oju kokoro they can't go there. So I don't believe in that fact. Even my picking, I know advice. Now boy, I get I know tell and say go live with woman because you want money for waiting now. You don't work like that. I go talk sense to your head. Thank you.
Thank you very
much. The more I get to talk with that.
You do well. Grace, you are next. We are going to round up soon. What do you have to say?
Hey, Auntie B. Hi, everybody. Okay, I'm going to side with Samolu on this one. Okay, because in my case, I'm married 14 years this year. And I was with my husband 5 years before that, 4.5 of which we cohabited together. Now, and if I have to do this over again, I would. The reason why is because I see it as test driving a marriage. It's like if you go to a dealership and you want to buy a car.
Oh my God! Don't use that example.
Wait, hear me out. It's
I know
you have.
It sounds so. I mean, we are humans.
I know it sounds weird, but I would rather have a broken relationship than a bad marriage.
But
Living
you see,
with
Grace, I'm not trying to say that, I'm happy for you that it worked out for you, but it's not because you test marriage. A lot of people test the same thing that you did and it didn't work out.
But wouldn't you rather it didn't work out for them than for them to go into a marriage and then you end up that?
That is what a relationship is for. You don't need to cohabit. The period of relationship is for you to know whether you are compatible or it will
But
work
the
out.
thing, Auntie B, is that, let's not lie, a lot of us, when we are dating people, you tend to put your best foot forward. There are things that you do that nobody will know about, and the only way you will know is when the two of you are actually together.
Yes.
How do you and those of us that have been married long, you know that there are some little things that our partner does that annoys us, that okay, you just gloss over it or whatever. It's during that time when you cohabit, you tend to know all their little quirks and idiosyncrasies that you'll be like, okay, is this something that I can, because in my part, I'm Catholic, and you know how Catholic doctrine is, they don't allow divorce.
It allows cohabitation.
No, they don't allow cohabiting. It's just that the doctrine is more like they don't allow divorce, right? So I don't want to be in a situation where I will have to divorce somebody because I don't like the way their character is. That was the mindset I went when I did this thing. So it was like, I need to know how the person's character is when we're not pretending to each other anymore. If it's something that I can swallow for the rest of my life. And that was where I was coming from. And I'm not going to encourage it because it's not for everybody. But when you do something like this, you go into it with a purpose in mind. Because before we did that, we had already been talking about marriage, even if it was not a serious talk. But this was kind of like, okay, let's see if we're actually compatible in every way, And I got to know that, okay, this is not the kind of guy that will be like, oh, cook my food or whatever. We helped each other out. I'm not the kind of person that I know that will settle for the typical Niger man with all the head of the household mentality. And I got to actually screen that, because if month 2, I saw that he was acting like that, I would have ended it then and then, because I had to make sure that this was the person that I wanted. This is the character that I wanted, so that when I actually put that ring on my finger, it will be like, okay, this is it. I know that I wanted you and I chose you. I don't know if
So
that
you
makes
are
sense.
living together and you are doing kerewa before the marriage.
Of course, I mean, who doesn't do career? Anybody that will come here and say they were virgins till marriage, na lie. I'll give you $1 million.
So you are
I
all for
mean,
that, now that you are married now, if you have a daughter, you will encourage her to do the same thing.
see, like Samuelu said, I will give her the pros and cons. Advise
Okay.
her that hey, this is not something that you just do with
And you
anybody.
are a
Make sure
Catholic.
that there's
I'm
a
not, your Christian faith is not reflected in your views at all, I must say. I don't
an-
know.
Auntie B. Oh,
Mm.
okay. I'm not gonna. Let's not talk religion in this one because there are so many things the
No, we
Catholic
get
Church does that I
no
don't agree with.
religion.
Let's just put it that
Okay,
way.
okay,
There's so
all
many
right.
things the Catholic Church that I don't agree with. So let's not bring religion into this. I'm just saying that I have daughters and we live in America. So I'm sure this is like a normal thing to them. But I will not encourage it, but I will advise them that hey, this is the pros and cons of this thing. Make sure
Mm-hmm.
if you're going into it with somebody, you know that
Yeah.
there's a potential, the potential for settling down forever with this person is high. Don't just date one person, casual dating, and say, oh, we're gonna go live together or whatever. That's,
Okay.
in my
Okay.
opinion, that's not the way you do it.
All right. So
It has to
finally,
be somebody. Go
Grace,
ahead.
finally, let me ask you a question about this woman that we're talking about now, we're talking about that said that she cohabited and the man is going to marry an Americana because of green card. What do you have to say about her situation now, since you are all for cohabiting because it's worked for you? What do you have to say about her
Well,
situation?
the thing, Auntie B, is that we don't know what their discussion was between the two of them. Did she set boundaries? Did she tell him that, hey, okay, if by year one or whatever you have to marry me or not? Did she? I mean, we don't know. We only heard our own side of the story, and of course, Niger men and green card wahala. In short, I don't know. I feel sorry for her, but she didn't play her cards right.
All right. Thank you very much, Grace. I had to bring that up because your own worked out, which is good. I'm happy for you. And, I respect your position. I don't agree with it. I will never agree with it, but it's fine. We can have different opinion. You and Samolu have the same opinion, which is fine. I respect your opinion, but I don't agree with it. And that's why I had to ask you about this one because your own sounded so nice. Oh, it's Catholic. You don't want to be divorced. And it gave you time to know the man you know in for all this Nigerian mentality men that will be saying I'm the head of the family and all that. It works for you. But what about this auntie now? She did the same thing you did, cohabiting. But after 4 years now, uncle is buying ring for another person. What is she supposed to do? That's where the problem is. Bumi, what do you have to say to that?
Yeah, I'm just going to say this. Nobody wholly passed. Nobody is a saint, right? I'm going to start with, and I'm not judging anybody. Like you said, I respect people. I respect your opinion. But the truth of the matter is, if it works for A, it does not necessarily mean that it works for B. But we
Yeah.
know, there are different formulas. Yeah, like it's just like
Mm-hmm.
somebody wants to lose weight. One person
Mm-hmm.
can do intermittent fasting or dry fast. Another person might not be able to do it. Another person might go to the gym. But we know that you have to put work to lose that weight. So you have to be prepared mentally, right? So now, what is the surest one? Which one? You now find the formula. That's how it is with this case. We know that if you cohabit, it may or may not. There's nothing like what is she? What will you discuss? There is nothing like that. There's nothing like
Mm-hmm.
that. You are just. It's just like you are eating the cake even before the wedding day. Like you are planning for wedding, but you are already in the ceremony. You are already jumping the broom. There's nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know that that would not work. And then if you now want to say you are a Christian, you are a Muslim, is again, if you want to do something, say we do it, we follow the faith. If we have sinned, okay, I sin. No, you cannot pick and choose. If you want to read Philippians 4, 3, 4, read the whole verse. Don't read the one that favors you and then you discard the part. That's what I don't like. It's not going to, because it works for A does not mean it's going to necessarily work for B. Is what I want people to know. And you also have to think that women, we don't have time, especially if you want to raise a family. You cannot
Mm-hmm.
cohabit. You cannot
Mm-hmm.
cohabit because time is going. Even in a relationship, everybody, I think people that want a relationship to be fruitful, we go into a relationship with time. So then you now add cohabitation on top of it. That's a decade already in my own books. So, and it's hard. It's already hard. Relationship is hard. Nothing is easy. So if you cohabit with somebody, does not necessarily guarantee that it's going to work. That's what I want women and men to see. And it's one side. Even marriage,
It's not that marriage does not favor the men or favors the woman more. It's just that with marriage, we know that this is our partner that we are riding with. So we know we are not doing test driving. We're not opening and out. We're not covering our face that uncle is still there. He has not given you ring. He has given you the ring. Now you people build together. That's what I want to say.
All right. Thank you so much for your contribution. Americanna. Right. We're rounding up. Hit me, dear.
Oh,
Hello.
okay.
Amaya,
Can
can you
you
hear
hear
me?
me? Yeah, I
Yeah.
can hear you now. Yeah. So I just wanted to quickly say, the lady that spoke before Bumi, not everyone. There's some people who married as virgins, so we cannot generalize. There are people who actually married without doing any kerewa or whatever. So I just want to put that out there first and foremost. And again, everybody to each his own, right? If that's how you want to do it, that's fine. Everybody's an individual, and everybody has a right to make the choices that work for them. I would say if you want to go ahead and cohabit, know who you're cohabiting with. And when that lady was explaining her story, she did say they went in with intention because they already knew that marriage was going to be the end result. So they were cohabiting with that knowledge. So really, they were almost there anyway. So I don't think it actually matches what we're talking about here. But that being said, personally, I don't support it. I will not encourage any woman to, because the women are always the biggest losers. Even the so-called Western society that we live in, there are women here in the Western society where they born them, everything. They are crying every day and wishing that they could do it differently. And that's why most of them gravitate towards Nigerian men. Why? Because Nigerian men from Nigeria have that mindset of marriage. So they will do anything. Some of them travel from here. You know how many women are traveling from here now to go to
To
Nigeria
go
and
to
marry?
Nigeria and
It
marry,
has
yeah.
increased. Why? Because Nigerian men marry. It's not play. Once they are talking to you and they see that there's a vibe, they will want to marry you. It's just that simple. So let's not just throw that away because we think that we're living a certain way, so it applies to everybody. It does not apply to everybody. If you are doing it, fine. If you hopefully it works out for you, but I would not recommend it. I would not advise any woman to. It's even better for you to stay on your own because you get to know yourself better and you get to know who you're dealing with. You can live with someone for 20 years and still don't know them. There are people who have lived and been married for 20 more years, and they, at the end of the
And
day,
you
they
are
say
still discovering things
they are
about each
still
other.
exactly. And they even say, "Oh, I didn't know there's a short story of a man who was, busy unaliving people and had a family steady." After how many years they arrested him through DNA and all of that, they asked the wife. The wife said she never knew that part of his life. So let's not come here and say, "Oh, it gives you, I will know the person." Oh, lori raw. Anyway, do for each his own. Do what makes you
Do
happy.
what you
What
want to
works for
do.
you?
If it
Because
doesn't
that's
work, then cry out. We are here to vlog you. No wahala.
exactly. We will come and support. All right, Sister B, thank you very much.
Thank
Another
you, my
great topic.
darling. Thank you, sweetie. So those live shows, I say, oh, Amaya, you're gone. Okay, I'll speak to you later. So thank you everyone for your contribution. I pinned one contribution, one comment earlier on. Somebody was saying that why do we feel like as Christians, whenever we say something, we have to be apologetic about it because everybody frowns at it. And it's something that I reflect on because I feel like in this era of political correctness, sometimes people want you to hide what you believe in your faith. Oh, let's not talk about religion. Let's not talk about religion. But fundamentally, I'm a Christian. So it's part of my life, whether I like it or not. It will always reflect in my decision making, in my values, in my action, the way I raise my children, the way I conduct my marriage, the way I want my children to marry. Definitely. And I'm unapologetic about that. And I'm not saying that everybody should follow what I believe in because I realize that, I respect differences. Not everybody is a Christian. And what Christianity means to you, it might not mean to me. All right. So I'm not going to say that everybody, but I don't feel like we should shine away from it. When you say that, oh, as Christians, you do, then people will start comparing and say, oh, what about you do this sin? You do this sin. It is not, it's like saying, oh, we are talking about abuse. You start comparing different kind of abuses. It doesn't make sense. Sin is sin before God. So you shouldn't say, oh, because somebody is going to the boyfriend's house now to sleep, or because people are fornicating. So it means that cohabitation, there's nothing wrong in it. If you are a child of God, you are a believer, then I don't even need to preach to you. I don't need to preach to you about, whether you should cohabit or not, because that's why when you listen to a lot of Christian teachers that talk, even on YouTube here, they will tell you, as a Christian, you shouldn't even be marrying an unbeliever, because except the two people agree, they are, two cannot work together except they agree. If you are a Christian, you shouldn't even be marrying an unbeliever, because your thought process, where you are coming from, is not even the same. And I don't see a believer that will go and carry somebody's child and put in their house to be saying they are doing test marriage. Nibo. No. And it's not every man that agree with it. I've been seeing some men that be making comment, by the way. Some agree, some disagree. It's all based on our personal convictions, like I said. But as a Christian, I'm not going to, be so politically correct that I cannot say what the Bible says about this. This is for me. You don't need to take it. As a Christian, you have no business going to live with a man that you're not married to. You have no business packing your load to go and doing trial marriage. I've never heard of trial marriage before, that you will go and test. How many you want test, Biko? I know some people have done it, it's worked for them. And some people have given testimony about how, thank God they did it. Good for you. It's good. I'm very happy for you. But me, as I did here, so speaking to any single person in the building, please, women, value yourself. Stay in your father's house. If your father there Africa, you cannot afford to rent, share with your girlfriends. There's nothing like trial marriage. Oh, I want to, because I want, and it's so, when we're having the discussion on Saturday, my daughter was here and we're having the discussion. She was like, this is what all the boys want to do now. I'm like, really? Yes, say all of them. This is what they want to do now, because they want you to come and live with them first. I say, like Ojo, live with you first. Be playing wifely duty without commitment. If you cannot be man enough to give that commitment of marriage, so you're not going to live with any man. It's not going to happen. I won't let it happen. And I'm so glad, because I know saying I'm Papa Bona. When I asked her, I said, do you see yourself doing that? She said, no. He said, lie, I'm not doing it. I said, and your papa born you. Hello.
Auntie B.
Good evening.
Yeah, this is Bio, yeah.
Oh, Bio. Now you push Oja for I wonder say. Oh my God, you don't go Ukraine. Now you go put Soja this thing. Bio, I beg, no make me laugh.
We need to surrender everywhere.
Oh my God, very funny. You're welcome. You want to talk? I don't do my closing summary. Anyway, you are welcome.
Yeah. So yes, I won't just go talk much on everything that I've said, but all I want to say, I don't care what anybody think about me being a man. Apologies. Let me tell you the truth. We are the greatest users on earth you can ever think about. It's just the truth. So what I would say in this issue is that there is no man, because I'm a man, men talk. See, I said one day here that just the same way, if a woman sees a man and know that she's going to like that man, no matter where that man is, she'll find her way there. Men, once they start dating a girl, in few days, weeks, at most 1 month, can tell if they are going to marry that woman or not. I'm telling you the truth. So, at the end of the day, when a man is under some certain needs and start to pretend and behave in a way that he knows that a fellow man cannot do this to his own sister or his own child later in life or daughter, we do it to someone else's child. It's very bad. That is an heartless decision, a heartless way of behaving. Because whether Christianity or not, the first thing you should think, what you do to somebody, if they do it to you, will you like it? How can you put a woman at home for 4 years? That woman have driven other suitors because of you. Do you understand? That woman, I put up her time because of you. That woman have done all this, and at the end of the day, you came out so easily, find a way to just do away with the woman. And then you look for one silly excuse. How long? What are you testing in marriage?
I don't know what they do testing.
Finish.
You see, the thing that is making me so distressed about this whole situation is that people, when they can't stand for what is right that we see as right before God, you could come be like saying, now we on the wrong. Now we don't know what they talk, as if now we no one move with changing times, because people are so involved now. They're in the future now. They live for computer age now. Now we can't. Now we can't. They stuck in the past where we no one move with changing times, because we say this is not the right way.
It's not the right way. And Auntie B, we must not mistake some certain things. There are things that people do in the West that we don't really understand. Like the other person said in our statement there. See, in this abroad, obodooyinbo, for instance, let me talk of obodooyinbo. Do you know that we agree? We know that young people, when they start dating, for instance, because it is cheaper for two people to share one apartment, compared to one bedroom. For instance, in a city where I am now, one bedroom in a luxury, in a okay apartment is at least $1,800, which is $1,800. While two bedroom would be just $2,100. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know, so you see young people, for instance, they're not thinking of marriage right now. They're just dating. All those kind of stuff. I'm not trying to support it. I'm just telling you what they do. For instance, some of them will go and they will go and share. Cohabit, sharing one apartment, but at least that is a different case. That's not the topic of today, right? But because that one is different, that are young chaps, they have long time, which most parents will never agree on that. But I'm just saying, but say you are ready to get married, or you are thinking of it, not even if you are not ready this year, you are up to that age, then you will carry a mature woman, put her at home, and at the end of the 4 years, you want to, because if you listen to the guest statement, I read the guest statement before the show. She said in her statement that the man's sister was already looking for another woman, introducing another.
It's not be looking. It's fine. The auntie has found him another Americanna wife where he go give ring. That's why he went to buy the ring.
Thank you. So that again is a red flag, and you see, and this is what a fellow woman did without cautioning the brother and say, I'm a woman like this woman who 4 years you build it together. You won't just leave this girl like this. You know what I'm trying to tell you? You know, so this thing is kind of dicey, and I understand what Samuel and the other lady said, which normally do happen. You know, maybe sometimes they feel, but you cannot tell somebody. Like I said again, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. See, come where go strong. Now from the leaf color that they know. You understand? So I think that is enough. Let me end that there because you gave me 5 minutes to contribute. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Uncle Bio. I appreciate your call. So obviously, not be everybody be Christian, and not be everybody, even if you be Christian, not be everybody believe in the core Christian values. Okay, so because if you talk this one now, some people go tell you say, "Hey, we are hypocritical." Hey, what about people where they date, where they do kerewa? Not what is the difference between them and people that are cohabiting? See, sit down and look and a dog name. Who no going on no? Because one person walk, when I see this auntie now, see now, just see her now when they cry. Say the man when they live with, say he won't go marry and that person don't buy ring. Come carry himself. He carry himself, come social media now, they shout, they do video up and down. So if you want to go cohabit, good luck to you. I not tell you may not go cohabit, I can't stop you. You be adults. Go and do it. Cohabit. Live with them well. Stay there 10 years. Make una they cohabit. They cook, they clean, they do everything. If you like, he marry you. If you like, he not marry you. You are on your own. Now here will day. Okay? If he not marry you, you go cry. You will still come content. Now that time you will come and talk, say the man is wicked. I gave him this. I did this for him. I did this for him. Did he promise you marriage? Did he tell you he was going to marry you? Did he give you a ring? Eh? Did he hold you in his house? He take cane, eh? Did he use what do they call him, rope to tie you in his bed that you will never get out? Eh? So I beg. For me, when I see the post, honestly, like that of our caller always say and they laugh. I laugh too when I see him. Because I look at finish, I say, see this big auntie. Now you they cry for social media. You know they shame. You go carry yourself, go sit down for my house, man, no pay your bride price. And when they talk the matter now, some people say, well, no, they talk bride price again. Now, how would they marry for where we come from? Which one we won't come talk now? We go right. Mo no talk bride price. Mo no talk about Bible. What we will come talk again? Me, I go only talk of what I know. Okay? Make you talk the one way you know. It's okay like that. You carry yourself like this, go sit down for my house, can't they cry? He promised you marriage. Did he promise you marriage? Or you they assume, you just they hope, say one day go marry you. Now you don't say Americano now. Americana when you go give a green card. You get green card. And people are thinking that we're talking of obodooyinbo. It's Nigeria, oh, my people. They are not in abroad, you. They are not in the abroad. These people are in Nigeria. So the man is looking for Americana that he will use to step up to go to America, of which I know, like Sister Rita said, it's not because he loves the Americana, and that marriage too no go last. Because now opportunities inside be. If they find who go give him paper and make it enter Obodo America. You see, and so everybody they use everybody. But you got to calculate your risk. Otherwise, women now go lose. Now women they always lose for these things. Honestly, that's why I feel very passionate about it. Hello, good evening.
Hello. Hi, Auntie B. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Who is calling, please?
This is Courage.
Okay, do you have something to say about the show?
Yes, I have something to say, and what really brought me in is I heard one of the caller earlier said about raise a child in the way he or she should go, and so when you're no longer there, they did not depart from it. Like he used the Bible. That's why I'm coming in.
Okay.
So and what he was saying, after saying that is not the Bible. The Bible does not support you raising your children to go cohabit with a man before marriage. The Bible don't support any of those things that he was saying. But he used the Bible. That's why I'm coming in.
Okay, he used it wrongly. He used it wrongly. And when he is old, he didn't obviously understand the verse. He said, when he is old, he will not depart from it.
Yes, that's what brought me in. So if he used that verse in the Bible and his mindset, that is just wrong, totally wrong. And for all Christians, if you say you're Christian and you know the verse in the Bible, and the Bible says raise the child in the way they should go. So when you are no longer there, they do not depart from it. And your children are out there before marriage. Just count yourself a failure. You have failed. Woefully, you have failed. Your children are living with other people before marriage. You have failed. You have failed woefully. Yes, they can date and live apart. And you can know somebody in less than maybe 6 months. You can live apart and know somebody that you're going to marry. You are not going to know everything about the person. I have been married for so many years. Not everything that I know. There are things that I myself have not revealed to my husband, and there are things that he has not. We don't have to reveal everything.
Exactly.
There are some things we have to keep. Not everything that we're going to reveal. So he brought the Bible in. That's why I'm coming in. I do not support. I have children. I have girls. And I do not support my girls going to go do that. I am raising my children and I'm, calling on God. And I just encourage that every mothers and fathers, if we say we are Christians, there is no testing of any marriage before marriage. There is no, it's not a car.
No, somebody actually use a car that you don't go to buy a car without test driving. I'm like, oh my God.
That just gripped me. It sounds so stupid for a lady to say, I don't want to divorce, but I just want to test it. It is better to have a failed relationship than to have a failed marriage. To me, as a woman, it's all the same thing. If you have values at all, and you've test drive the first one all the way to the court, not just like mouth to mouth thing. You've tested all the way and it failed. You test the second one, it failed. The third one, it failed before marriage. That is why we see too many divorces going on. That is why we see too many of anything. We just have to ask God for the grace and the wisdom to raise our children and ask God to give them listening ears, because we can still raise good children that's going to be great in the future. We can still raise these children to be great. We can still raise them to have values.
Mm-hmm.
Like children, no matter how, like you have them in the house, their minds are empty. What you put in their mind is what stays in their mind.
Mm-hmm.
What they see around them, what stays. Their minds are just empty, like a blank, sheet of papers. What you put in there is what stays. So we just have to call on God, if we are Christians or whatever we pray to give us the knowledge and the understanding and the wisdom to raise them the way He wants us to raise them. I am a Christian. I'm only going to talk about God to give me the courage to raise them in the way they should go, because we cannot do it on our own.
Amen.
So if anybody's going to come here and bring that passage of the Bible and you're going to support your children and say, I'm going to tell them the pros and the cons, well, we have pros and cons already. There is not, with my own pros and cons, I'm going to advise my children against all of that. No pros and cons, no. Or go make your own mistake, and learn from your own mistake. That is not, we are not doing it right. We are not doing it right, and I'm not doing it right either, but like I said, as a Christian, you call on God for courage and for understanding and for wisdom and for the grace to raise these children, right? Because they can still be kids. We can still raise kids.
All right.
What brought me in that verse, that thing just gripped my spirit. Like, you know what? Don't use that verse. If you don't know what it means, do not use it. Because as he used it, I thought he was going to say something that I'm just going to like go to sleep and say, oh, somebody said the right thing. But no. I was like, well, you cannot bring up that verse and say what you're saying. That's just not true. Don't misdirect anybody here. The Bible, there's no confusion when it comes to the Bible. Understand it right, and we will do the right thing.
All right.
Like I said, we can still raise some good kids.
Thank you.
Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you, sis.
God bless you, and God continue to bless you. And that young guy in your house, I have some girls. Me, I'm shining my eyes.
No. He's not gonna do it. I told him it's not gonna happen. Never. He can't do it. No, not under my nose. Nah, it's not gonna happen. He's still very young. He's only 18, so he has a lot to learn about life. He's quoting sociology. He will come and find out that sociology is not real life. Don't mind Toby. He's not serious. When I was asking him if he wants his sister to go and cohabit, you could see the way he was making faces. I said, so you want to cohabit with somebody's daughter? I don't want your sisters to go and cohabit. Then he started making case. Come and see him making a case. You can imagine now, if Esther will have a child now, she'll have to take time off. That's when he now started quoting all the triple T and triple C. She will have to go and do maternity now, and her job now will be given to someone else. This guy say, you see men, whether they are boys or men, they'll be the same. I'm telling you. So, I just want to say something before we leave. Thank you all so much for your contribution, those who were for and against. It's been a very stimulating conversation altogether. We will always not agree on everything, which is all right, but let's just respect one another. And if you are not a Christian or you are just a church goer, like I think that's how this our sister needed to quickly come in. Don't use the Bible haphazardly, please. It's not fair on us Christians. Don't use it haphazardly. If you don't understand what it means completely, don't just come and quote it. And if people are sharing their Christian perspective, there is no need for you to demonize or shame them. It's not necessary. You don't need to agree. I feel like it will come to a point where some people who have very strong feelings against Christianity will leave this platform. And I'm okay with that. I'm very, very okay with that. Because I can only speak of what I know. And what I know is Christianity. I'm not going to start teaching you about Ifa. I'm not going to start teaching you about any other form of religion, Hindu. So that's the thing. I'm not forcing it down your throat, and I'm just saying this is what I believe in, and this is what I will always speak about. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. That's it. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Olubumi, you're welcome. We are rounding up now. People are starting calling me now. Okay.
I tried to get the link, but I couldn't get it. I
Okay.
want to quickly say something.
All right.
So number one thing that I want to say is that a lot of time we call ourselves Christian, but we don't want to do what is in the Bible. I wonder how many people will be at work and will not want to follow the guidelines of their workplaces. So this is what the Bible says. Why will it be difficult for us to go with it? I'm not saying I'm perfect, but why should we have to be intentional in doing something against what we profess to be our religion? Then another thing I want to say about the caller, I appreciate everything the last caller said, but that if your child is cohabiting, then it is your fault when you have trained the child. There is a story in the Bible that talks about the sower, and the Bible says this sower went about sowing seeds. Some fell on the hard ground, some fell on the ground, and the birds came to take the seed, and some fell on the good ground.
Mm-hmm.
That is what parenting is all about. We only have to teach them the right thing and pray along with it that God will let them take it, because we don't have to be too hard on ourselves when we are doing the right thing as Christians. So it is the same seed, it is the same sower, but the ground is different.
Yeah.
And that is what brings results. So I want to encourage parents that are listening, please pray for your children that they will have a heart that is like a good soil. So when you are teaching them the way of the Lord, they will abide by it and they will follow it through. So I don't want to be too hard on parents that if their children is cohabiting, or if their children is fornicating,
they are failures. Yeah, that they are failures. Yeah.
No.
Because some children will, some parents will do their hardest, but the children will still do what they want to do.
Yes. So we parents, if we call ourselves Christians, we should teach our children Christianity truly by the Bible. I like the way you were talking to your kids, that this is not our religion, it is not our culture, and it is not our religion. So if you call yourself a Christian, you have to abide by what the Bible says.
Benny.
That does not mean we don't commit sin, but we don't do it intentionally.
Or start comparing.
Or start comparing and start judging yourself based on the world. No. That, okay, the world are doing this, so if I do this little, then that means I'm better. No, we don't have to. We only do what is right and keep asking God for more grace to do what is right the more.
Yeah.
I pray the Lord will help us. Parenting is a very big deal, and this topic is part of the thing that parents are facing these days, because a lot of things are making women to now go and be doing the wish of the men, or the ladies to do the wish of the guys, because they want to get married. Okay, I want to get married. I don't want to leave this guy. I don't want this guy to leave me. So whatever he says, let me abide by it. Let me go with him. When after we get married, we will start asking God for forgiveness. So many ideas are out there.
That's why the world is upside down. That's why divorce is so high, and that's why when people do things like this, later they'll start complaining when the man starts having side chick, because you've already spoiled him already. There's no discipline. You didn't discipline him. There was no discipline because he had you.
This is why divorce is so high, because if you test this one, test another one, and at the end of the day, you now get married, you will have so many people to compare your husband with or your wife with.
One pastor was preaching.
If it was Shade will not do this. If it was Bimpe will not do this. And then the lady too will be thinking, if it was Benga I married to, Benga is not like my husband. But if you did not cohabit in the first place, you will not have anything to
compare with. Yeah. Thank you so much.
God bless you.
Amen.
All
Okay.
Right.
So, one pastor was teaching, I was watching the video, and he made me laugh, and he said that some sisters will marry and will come and say, they are not enjoying the kerewa. They are not enjoying it. And he said, compared to what? Yes, I love it. They've tested. And compared to the previous brothers, may God have mercy on us. My goodness, wahala too much. Look, let me tell you something. Whether you cohabit from now to tomorrow, it takes the grace of God, discipline, a lot of discipline, and a whole lot of commitment to make a relationship work. Because you cohabit does not mean that your marriage will work. Personally, from the home that I came from, I could never have done it. And my children, by the grace of God, will not do it. I prefer them to marry. If you, whether you are male or female, if you want to marry, go and marry and then get to know each other, learn each other, and grow together. All this cohabiting, so ireo, good luck to everyone that is cohabiting and those who intend to cohabit. Not my cup of tea. But now see this auntie so 4 years now. For a place like Niger. Now we don't see them for social media now. We dey here they talk a matter now. All the way for Nigeria now you can't do video. They do video for social media. Say the man no marry am. So na sabi o. Ladies, all I can say to you, I can only speak to you. Those of you who are particularly Christians in the house, do the right thing. Okay, if anybody that is an unbeliever come and say, come and live with me before I will marry you, so I can test you, I beg, no gree. No gree. Do not accept that nonsense. Value yourself. It is the value that you place on yourself that the man will place on you. Biko no. I dey beg una. All right. Thank you all so much for being here. And there's a story I'm going to bring tomorrow. We have a very an interesting story. It's a breaking news actually. One of our Igbo brothers, when woman, now this same cohabiting or no cohabiting wahala tomorrow for Australia, when na Stanley Obi na him be him name. When Oyibo, this one Oyibo enter house, so na him just pour whether na petrol they say pour, I don't know what they say pour, just burn the house down. Burn herself, John, and I will want treat tomorrow. So join me tomorrow at 7 p.m. Let's talk about the issues. That relationship, it was something happened in that relationship. So I'm still looking into it to find more information. I'll catch you up tomorrow at 7 p.m. Thank you all so much. And once again, my apologies for the audio. It was self-inflicted, I must say. Let me go press mute on my computer. Wow, no. It is well. May God help us with technology. Thank you very much, Bumi, Munilola, Ade, Jayola, Samolu. Thank you. You're welcome. Oh, yeah. Thank you. I will speak to you guys tomorrow evening. Have a good evening. And yeah, give this video a thumbs up. Thank you, guys. Love you. Bye. Gigi. Thanks, sis. Love you plenty.